as the Nasdaq here poised to gap down and open lower. We'll take a look at the S&P 500, looking kind of similar here, though recovering perhaps a little bit better off its pre-market lows than what we're seeing with the Nasdaq. We also have to look at USO. USO also poised a gap down here, but bouncing significantly off these pre-market lows. More comments here coming from Iran specifically. In this case, it's foreign minister in a social media post calling the terms of the MOU that was struck between the U.S. and Iran in Islamabad, quote, crystal clear, and saying, quote, any threat against our people and leadership will receive immediate and powerful response. So keep an eye on oil, of course, in the market today. Some housekeeping as well. Whole bunch of economic numbers to be aware of. At 8:15 a.m., we get the ADP employment change print. At 9 a.m., you're going to get comments from Fed Chair Kevin Warsh at this ECB forum. He'll also be with the leaders of the ECB, the Bank of Canada, and the Bank of England. 9:45 a.m., you're going to be getting some S&P manufacturing data. And 10 a.m., the ISM manufacturing print. In the afternoon, we're going to have not one, but three appearances from President Trump. The first at 1:10 p.m., the second at 1:45 p.m., and the final at 3:15 p.m. So lots of just housekeeping notes to be aware of. And what should be actually a pretty busy Wednesday. We have to talk about Nike as well here, one of many individual stocks we'll be taking a look at today. They got beat up here. More China struggles. We had earnings as well from SPZ and GIS. And more tech news here. SpaceX getting analyst love. There's a lot to discuss this morning. Happy Canada Day to our Canadian viewers. Happy Canada Day and happy Wednesday, sure.
Happy Canada Day, everybody. Adara. All right, guys. Good morning. SpaceX, Wedbush, initiating coverage, $190 price target. We'll talk about that. Apple and the EU hold discussions over the new rollout of Siri, and Microsoft sadly preparing another round of layoffs, AI related, so the company says, and a judge allowing the key social media addiction claims to proceed against Meta, Zuckerberg and company. And Michael Burry, he's back, baby, and he's shorting my Caterpillar, CAT, one amongst four other names that he's shorting, as Adara mentioned. Nike in focus, and Bloom Energy rocketing up yesterday in the aftermarket, touching all-time highs again, but having trouble with that 350 area as it has for a while now. And HLN, Helion, signing a nice deal here with Microsoft. They're also up to start the morning. Paramount Skydance also in focus with the Australian regulator, possibly even the European regulator as well, Adara. So we'll keep an eye on a bunch of these. And ServiceNow is up 4.7% as well.
Yeah, we'll definitely talk about those ServiceNow and Salesforce notes from Guggenheim, because those are certainly, I think, of note. I'm already seeing some people type ServiceNow in our chat. Again, guys, if you want to get our attention with tickers you're looking at, please put that $ in the chat before the ticker. Thank you there for putting that up. That's how you get our attention, and I often use this to help decide what stories we're going to talk about. So definitely keep that in mind. But we're also going to keep in mind, we have Sean here. We have Joe here. Happy Canada Day to both of you, and good morning.
Happy Canada Day. Yeah, Joe realized that we don't have any food here today because our caterer is off, so he's on the Uber Eats. And
we're locked and loaded.
Oh, you're locked and loaded. What's your estimated time of arrival over here?
What we got here, man?
20 minutes?
29,
Ooh,
man.
not bad, not bad.
29.
A little bit of eggs and bacon coming
Eggs
through,
are
so that's
big.
going to be good. And yeah, it should be a fun day today.
Yeah,
oh
man.
yeah, here we go. Happy Canada Day.
It is.
Man, it's gorgeous outside.
It
is a scorcher. Across the northeastern seaboard, and
yesterday was nice, man. It had a little bit of a breeze.
Yeah,
the breeze was there, man. So we're at the outdoor workout gym.
Yeah,
We're hitting everything, the calisthenics gym, and nice little breeze.
Why not, man? I mean, it's gorgeous outside. You know, good opportunity. Do you take Milo for walks or too hot?
Shorter ones. Shorter ones, right? 'Cause he's all black.
Yeah. So the sun is getting on him.
He gets all.
Does that matter what color your dog is? As far as heat is concerned, I don't know.
What do you mean, man? The darkness attracts the.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's like a matter of also what kind of coat you got on there.
It's like thicker. It's a thicker coat. Okay. He's a long hair too, right? So.
Anyways, welcome everybody to what should be another fun day. I was telling Joe we went bowling yesterday.
Yeah,
it was fun.
How'd you shoot?
So first game was 140 and change. Next one was like 158, and then we only played for an hour, and then we ran. I think I was gonna break the next one, like in the 170s or something, but then we stopped in the 8th end because the time ran out.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
You get an hour.
But I realized that, man, both my sons kind of suck at bowling.
Oh,
they were not.
Whose fault is that?
Probably theirs, but
that's crazy.
What, am I supposed to just put these guys in bowling lessons?
Yeah. How did you get good?
I don't know. I never had. Did you have bowling
You're just
lessons?
natural, eh? No, I
So
never had bowling lessons.
as a child, as a wee one, I was in 5-pin bowling.
Oh, okay. So there you go.
For a little bit.
So there you go. Your parents putting you in.
Yeah, I guess so. But didn't you do everything as a kid? Like I did archery. I did I just remember gym class. You basically got exposure to everything.
You got a lot.
And then it was up to you to decide if you wanted to do. But no, my kids, I mean, they've tried every single sport, man.
That's good.
Yeah, even all my sons, Taekwondo.
Yeah, I remember I was in Taekwondo.
Yeah, Taekwondo is a big one.
Chopping dudes.
For them. Obviously, swimming,
swimming.
is big. And my son's in volleyball and all these things. So yeah, they got to try everything. And he's trying out, I had to sign up and pay for his football camp, which starts in August.
Is that high school?
Yeah. So he's the school he went to apparently won the cities the last couple years. So he's
really?
To play. Yeah,
and he's a big boy too.
Yeah,
right?
he's 6 feet. Like,
what do you think? What position is he looking at here?
I don't know. He doesn't. I don't think he has hands.
Oh,
so I think he's going to be
probably
going to be on the defensive side of things.
Okay, that's all right.
I don't know. I think he'd be a good linebacker.
Yeah. That's what I played grade.
He might be on the. Like he's legit 6 feet.
Yeah, that's good.
14 years old. So hopefully he can grow a little bit taller. My 24-year-old is 6'3". So hopefully they get going.
Big boys,
the
man.
height of that, but that's what it's all about. I can't wait to hear when you're going to be having a kid.
Well, you're going to be waiting a long time, man. Yeah,
no,
you were talking about retiring in the next couple of years.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So, you get the wedding.
I don't think I could ever really truly retire from.
No, but
we have too much fun coming in every single day.
You can't retire, man.
Like maybe I can get as many vacation days as Randy, who of course is not here today.
I heard you had more. You told me that.
I have more than Randy. Okay. Well, next time Randy's here, we will have a confrontation. Randy's been. We were talking about this yesterday. I think there's only Randy and maybe Mark are the only two that have been here longer than myself.
Yeah, because I know you've got one of the lengthiest vacation days as well as you deserve.
Lengthiest. I don't know if you know much about who runs this place, but they're not giving too many vacation days out. I think I should get, because I think you get the maximum is, I don't know what, I mean, maximum is whatever. But I think you get one per.
Is there a maximum? I didn't even know there was.
Did you have to get? You should.
No, it's not a maximum. I mean, I guess they can give you off as many days as you want. That's why I sort of said.
What you're saying, you get one extra a year?
No, I thought there was some sort of like a lead. Like if you work for a company for 5 years, you get like an extra vacation week.
You know what I mean?
Or something.
So, hey man.
I don't know.
It is.
It is what it is.
We're
independent. At the end of the day, as a trader, you're an independent contractor.
Why?
We're employed here. We're on the show and we're doing. We got salaries and everything attached to what we're doing here. But I started here in 2002, so that's 24 years. But in that time, I wore many hats. I started for the first 2 years basically in the same position as just a trader, just like an OB or something, just starting out trading. And eating what you kill and just making money that way.
Yeah.
And then I was at that point, Real Trading only had maybe a few hundred traders, if anything, worldwide, and they plucked me off the floor actually at like 23 or 4 years old, and I started working in the back. This is why I know all these guys. I started working in the back on the risk management software because they wanted to say, okay, because I turned out to be pretty successful in the beginning, couple years of trading, and it was like, okay. Can you help us build these programs like that Real Trading Campus program?
Yeah.
And then to expand the business out and work on the risk platform and everything like that, and just try to help with growing of the business. And that's when I started to travel, and we started opening up offices all over the world.
So you went prestige worldwide.
Yeah, I went Mr. Worldwide. And then that's where we went to Moscow and all these Singapore and all throughout, opening up basically trading floors, prop trading floors.
That's sick.
And I would sit there and be like, hey, this is my road. So when you're trying to hire 20-something-year-olds, I was 20-something-year-old, and I was just like, hey, this is the path that I took, and this is how I'm trading. So sitting there, basically doing like what we do on the show every day. Sitting there talking about trading, but more about the platform and what it meant to be a prop trader. And then that's what we were doing for a while. And then I came back and was basically handed the keys to, the Ferrari, and that's what we started. I told you I was hiring,
Neil,
various people, Neil, and various other people that around here. Even the guy in the compliance I hired.
Okay.
All those kind of guys, which is why it's so hard on me now. You know, I think if I hired a guy, I would get like some compliance rules, you know, lifted. No, we can never do that. But that was a lot of fun. And then, and then now we go on and now we're doing the show. And, you know, COVID happened. And then all of a sudden, you know, me talking to all these different offices and whatnot. Oh, and then we opened up there's so much more to this story. But I don't want to bore everybody.
Why? You can continue a little bit more.
No, but I came back and was running my own the whole office, right? But then it was like I was getting paid to manage someone else's floor.
Okay.
So I was like, forget that. And then we went, Neil, myself, and actually Daniel here.
Daniel.
Who I hired as well. The current founder right now. And we went and opened up our own office, and then, you know, that turned out to be.
Oh, is that when the one you guys?
It was called the original campus office. The original campus office at Bloor and Avenue Road.
Okay.
Yeah, and so that was quite well. It did quite well, and was actually doing so well that, you know, I was offered to close that office and get my ass back here because the Toronto office, ever since we had left, kind of started to go a little downside there. So we came back here and started to rehire everybody and build up this office again.
Good.
And as soon as that happened, that turned out to work out. And then they're like, why are you sitting here talking to a floor of 20 people
when you
could be talking to Mr. Worldwide's?
Ooh.
And then so next thing you know, I was sitting there with offices all throughout Africa and everything, and I was basically just
Did you get to go to Africa?
No. At that point, this was all. So the business was already pretty well established. So what I was doing was I was helping out the trading floor develop. So we opened up a new division at Real Trading called Trading Floor Development.
Okay.
So I would be training guys similar to me that would help out new offices that were opening up. So you opened up your office. This is the first thing to do. We talked about hiring. We talked about even just simple things like, hey, look, I'm opening up an office in Budapest. Like I would tell people, okay, key point, get near a subway stop. You know, because if you're going to hire traders, kids, or young adults straight out of school, you don't want to be out in the middle of nowhere, right, where they can't get to you. You want to be in high populated, just easy stuff like that. So talking like that, talking about what traits to look for in traders, and then, you know, filling out the software and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, no, it was a fun little experiment, and now we're doing this.
Good stuff, man.
This always means whenever you hear that means there's news coming.
Exactly. SMCI workers in China tips smuggling probe. Taiwan detains.
I mean, SMCI, I guess the story continues.
6, I know. I read yesterday that 6 of them. I don't know if more people got.
We'll have to see. We'll have to see what happens with this today. Interesting there, man. Michael Burry coming for Caterpillar. I don't feel like that's going to work out that well. I like Caterpillar.
Yeah, I mean, but I said this to Sharif this morning though. But if you're going to short, if you're going to short it, it's probably maybe here. But the question is for how long, right? Like I think that's something that you want to always keep in the back of your mind. Like he talked about the Palantir short, and that's why I wouldn't. You don't copy trade these guys because it's the same thing with Palantir, right? Like he was short Palantir, but then it's like okay, you get the news after however many days he shorted it, and then you get the news after however many days he closed the position. So, I mean, okay, 295% from last year. If you're going to short it, maybe up here's the spot.
You know, the funny thing you mentioned was Nvidia is at the same levels that it was at from October of 25.
Yeah.
So I went back and I looked. Caterpillar October 25 was $400.
Yeah, so
you know, and now it's 1,100. So I do understand that. Hey, like you know, maybe it's potentially a little overbought. But what was it, Adara? It was Caterpillar?
Caterpillar, Applied Materials, Tesla, NVIDIA. And what it's worth for Caterpillar, he admitted, like, he's like, I've never shorted this in my life. Like, he's made money long Caterpillar. His price, I believe, was around $10.68. So he would have shorted it near these highs, which is really fascinating.
Yeah, that's
you literally got the high. You got the high.
The all-time high is 1073.
So
that doesn't mean anything for now. I mean, I think if you just, read the report, figure it out. Like, if you agree with it, then go for it. We were talking about the Nasdaq finally starting to pull back a little bit, up 22% for the quarter. You know, that's monstrous. And I'm actually thinking about a short today just to see if the market does pull back a little bit. I do have written on here, SpaceX and ServiceNow as two names. Wow, it's 8:15 already?
Yeah, DRAM.
How long did I just talk there?
Yeah,
Probably way too long.
man.
I hope you guys enjoyed that little story there. But all right, we've got some numbers now. Let's go back over to Adair for 8:15.
We have ADP employment change, guys. It's coming in just 4 seconds now, so we'll wait and see what this number is. And I just moved my thing to the wrong place. Okay, 98,000 here for the employment change number. ADP employment change, 98,000. Again, that's going to be here below estimates of 120,000 and below the prior print of 122,000. Here's a look at the market. This is the QQQs. On this print, again, lower than expected ADP employment change. Not the only number we're going to get today, though it is the first. We're going to get some PMI data at 9:45 and 10 a.m. Now, we're here. Let's talk a little Bloom Energy here, Sharif, because right now, super stagnant, but had a really nice move up post-market.
Yeah, Darren, hit that 350 again, and it rejected off 350 again. That's an area it's had trouble clearing, so be on the lookout for that. But this is a really good deal with Brookfield Asset Management, right? They're expanding their AI power project with Brookfield, BAM, if you're interested. That's the ticker for Brookfield, to $25 billion. That's a 5-fold increase from the April 2025 deal that they had with Brookfield. Let's talk about this, though. $25 billion, though, guys, is 6.9 times Bloom's entire 2026 revenue outlook. So it's a big number relative to the size of Bloom Energy is the point I'm trying to make here. And they're going to have to schlep their own money up to $2.5 billion in cash because under this $100 billion that Brookfield has for the AI deployment, 25, of course, is going to go in this particular case. There's going to have to be a 10% equity contribution for every stage between Brookfield and Bloom. So they're going to have to schlep their own money, which means free cash flow and operating cash flow could be tight in the near term. But we already know what Bloom Energy's been doing. It's up 1,200% in over the trailing year. This thing's a 10-bagger. It's an absolute rocket ship, and it's trading that way, Adair, as well. Price to sales, 32.7. How about price to book? 93.4. So well extended given the current fundamentals. Last but not least, executives are taking profits here in the last 3 months. Adara, $58.7 million worth of native shares were sold on the open market with no corresponding purchases in the open market, just sales.
Do you guys think this stock can bloom further today?
Can it bloom to all new levels today? I mean, we really like that stock. I mean, shout out to Sharif. Sharif's been talking about that stock since 100. I mean, you're at 300 and change now. So, I mean, that's been an absolute great stock and nice to see it get back to all-time highs. Before we talk about that, though, really quickly here, shout out to Positive Planets over here. Been watching you all for this whole week, so last 3 days, and really love the show. Thank you. So I want to say a big shout out to you for that. And then, what's up, my guy? Here's Day Trading. Of course, we know Luis is here. Luis. He remembers the manager, Robbie, and it's funny because Robbie was here last week. Luis, and we went out to lunch with him. And I remember going to Budapest. Actually, Budapest was my first trip there. I went over there and actually, helped train Robbie and everything as far as his trading and his management and everything like that. So that's great. I do agree, man. The best manager ever. So shout out to Robbie there from Budapest. You're the best manager ever, Luis. Come on, man. Give yourself a little bit of credit there. Then you also remembered, you said something up here too about how you remember those Moscow traders were crazy guys. And yeah, you're right about that one. I remember going out. Actually, we went out. That's a funny story because we just talked about going bowling. I remember going to Moscow and we went out once they hired some of the traders when I was there, blah, blah, blah. One of the few nights we went out and we went bowling one night. And I remember after that we had some food and we were just sitting around in some nice bar or whatever, and all of us around the table. And we were all sitting there eating just whatever, appetizers, whatever, little things like that. And then all of a sudden these jars of water came and they were quite huge, just, clear jars, water in there. Everyone's just sort of pouring it into their own cups. Anyways, I took one swig of it. That was vodka. It was not water there. That was, and I was like, oh man, this is like, they're bringing them in unmarked bottles, just like huge. And I was like, oh, that's nice. Like, have some water. And, we all had some beers on the side and everything like that. And next thing you know, thank God I didn't chug that thing and that would have came right back up. But, one little, you could smell it. And I was like, oh my God, I can't believe this is vodka. But that was a pretty interesting story there. Because it just came in unmarked bottle, a whole bunch of them. And it was like, I guess it's true. Like vodka's like water over there in Russia. But that was a great story and great memory, I should say, that we had there. But, okay, we could talk about Bloom just real quickly there. Yeah. Brookfield, I mean, great. You know, you upsize the deal from 5 to 25. I mean, that's just huge, right? It shows, bless you, it shows the sort of the strength in this name. And Bloom Energy, you know, turning basically anything into energy as they go. Of course, that's not true, but, you know, the combustible aspect of what we're doing here, that actually happened? It went down here to 250. So, you know, again, just falling right back in. We had Brian Shannon on yesterday, and we were talking about A-Lab. And I'm glad that he and I sort of were on the same page about, you know, waiting for things to consolidate, break out, then waiting for the next consolidation, and then the breakout, and then a pullback. Now, this pullback almost, you know, and broke that consolidation. But generally speaking, when you consolidate like this and then start to get upside, this is kind of where you're thinking about buying $300 when it goes up to 350 and pulls back in. Oh, the breakfast has arrived. That was less than 29 minutes. Those guys killed it over there at Egg Smart. Shout out to Egg Smart over there. We'll see how Joe enjoys that. Once Joe came in and we realized it was Canada and there was no food, he had just immediately opened up the app and was like, "That's it. I'm going to be a nightmare without food." And so he got that going. But yeah, I really like this name, and I probably look at it today. I would think if we're going to talk about a day trade for this name, you know, the 200 period is always a friend of mine, and we like to look at that level. So I'm not going to write anything down now because we simply have still an hour and a bit before the market opens. It's not doing a whole heck of a lot here in the pre-market, which is actually good. I don't want to see it moving around too much. Let's just wait to see if we do get dip buys. It looks like the 315 to 320 area is a good support area for Bloom for now, and we'll just want to see what that happens, because up 8% in a market that, if we stay here or we start to go back upside, I feel a lot better about getting some of the longs. But on a day where the Nasdaq, you know, we just went through a 22% quarter, and now it's July 1st, shortened week. Obviously, we only have 2 more trading days, 1 more after today. I could see a little bit of maybe profit taking heading into the weekend, but at the same time, I don't really see any negative catalysts out there right now, other than the fact that all the Mag 7s, what a horrible month they had. You know, you had Microsoft down 17%. I think you had Google down 7 or 8%. Meta continues to go lower. Apple's story is still the same. That still gets hit. So I wonder if, you know, what the Nasdaq wants to do here starting this second half of the year, especially that we don't have it on the back of many of these winners. And oh my gosh, we're going to go over to the options segment in a second. But AMD, you know, well brought up by Joe, well brought up by Sharif yesterday as we were knocking on that $1 trillion club. I think it was 940 or so yesterday, and, you know, down 1% today. So we'll give a little bit of that back. You know, just wondering about a lot of these names. And, you know, if we were going to do, and I don't know if we're going to again, but if we're going to do those stock picks again, you know, I think you still got to be looking at the AMDs of the world and just get some love back into the game here for advanced micro devices. So down 1%, that's an interesting long potentially there if we like the trade to the long side today, just letting it settle out. I have SpaceX written down as a long and ServiceNow. Those are the 2 names so far. And I just realized that we have to pay for shorts on SpaceX. So I'm going to do that as I throw it back over to the big board and Joe with his options minute.
All right, guys, welcome and good morning. Let's take a look at some of the activity in the world of derivatives. Now, as for Netflix, guys, we're inching towards new yearly lows. Open interest at this $75 marker, right? There's a lot of activity here, guys, and we're struggling to even break through this level. Open interest sitting around 15,000 current open contracts, and that is going to be expiring on the 2nd. So tomorrow, guys, keep an eye out for that. Volume 25,100 contracts open and closed on yesterday's session. Now, the bid and the ask, if you're an options writer, you have to take fees into consideration and ask yourself, is it really worth it? But what I wanted to point out is just the fact that there's a lot of overhead supply and no one wants to really seem to absorb that. No large enough participant looking to absorb that. Now, as for your delta, that's going to be cool. And your gamma metric, it's close to what your delta is, guys. So, I mean, there is some increase within the Greeks there, but nothing to keep or be alarmed about, okay? So 37% in implied volatility. But what I really want us to focus on here is just the contract itself. You have a pop, but there's a very, very low probability that you'll find any form of recovery in the value of it. It's down 95% off of its all-time high here in this specific $75 strike price contract. Don't forget, each individual contract will have its own charting. So it's been an absolute tough look here for NFLX, and then you can see that supply zone sitting at the level that we have been talking about here this morning. Now, moving forward, Intel going on a nice little rally yesterday, guys. Open interest at this $141 strike price, sitting around 19,000 contracts. Well, the volume was around 9,500. Now, as for the bid and the ask, guys, we're sitting on a $15 spread. We see this a little bit tighter, and I wouldn't be surprised if it does tighten up after the open and some more volume steps in, but the open interest is there and the liquidity is also there. Now, as for your delta metric, guys, you're sitting around $45. So this is an at-the-money contract, roughly. So that's where you're going to see the increase within your delta. So for every $1 change, then you're going to see a $45 change within the actual contract pricing itself. And then you add your gamma on top of your delta, and then that's what you're going to get after the preceding $1 change. Now, as for the at-the-money IV, sitting around 94.3%, but I want us to focus on the contract itself. When you gain a couple of percentage points, guys, in the actual underlying asset, this is where the power of the options really comes into play. 276% from the lows to the high of the day. It makes it a little bit more difficult, and I was talking with an individual. It's, yeah, you want to put your marketable limits after the open. If you do or remain bullish and have a bullish thesis within the name throughout the whole intraday session, and you want to get involved right after the open. The options dynamics are going to slightly start to change, guys. You're going to be able to trade them in the pre-market relatively soon and in the post-market. There's going to be obviously a leeway, and it's not going to be from 4 a.m. all the way up until the Blue Ocean session starts at 8 p.m. So a nice 276% gain in Intel at that $141 strike price contract. Let's send it back to Sean.
Yeah, I mean, Joe, I really, Intel has to be one of those names that we really like moving forward. I mean, it's loved its 50-period moving average on that last little dip down there back in the 1st of June. You know, $99, you know, all the way to 140. So you have 40% this month. And nothing really has changed in this name. I mean, they continue to build out America first type of stuff. We know the PC game is going to be hot. We know the packaging of all these chips. Intel's in the right spot, man. Lip-Butan's coming from this. This is what he's all about. And just finding the value out there. I really think that Intel does have a nice little runway here to continue this just... You want to talk about October. We just talked about where Nvidia. So Nvidia's at the same price that it was at last October. All right. This was, in that same time, this was $35. You know, and then forget about even October. Let's go to December. Let's go to January and say it was $35. How about this? Let's go to March and say it was $43. Okay. So you're going from March, April, May, June into July. So you're going up almost more than 3x, 300% in 3.5 months, you know, for Intel, and the story kind of remains the same.
What date did you just point out? Do you want to, we'll get an exact.
Oh, from here?
Yeah.
Oh, but I mean, it's kind of,
okay.
This is the wartime. Like, it's basically April 1st, March. Yeah.
March 31st.
April 1st, doesn't matter.
228%.
Yeah, so 228% in April, May, June. So 3 months, 228. Right there for Intel. And I like the story, man. I'm trying to get more in. So the only thing, I thought Qualcomm, and you guys are going to be calling me out for this because it's going to be right. You know, I thought to get into this PC game, we know we like Marvell. Well, obviously, we're quite well into that. We have Intel that I like, and I like AMD. AMD wants to switch over into some of those PCs, right? Like even my kid right now is, because I promised him for his graduation, he's going into high school, that he could get a laptop. But I told him he's got to, the maximum I'm willing to spend is $1,000.
Okay.
So I'm trying to give him like a, because otherwise he's just going to say, you know, like, let's just go out and get whatever. So I'm going to try, he's trying to research it. We're trying to go to some like Rebellos, like a refurbished Canadian site and all that kind of stuff. And he's looking at, you know, Amazon and all these and Best Buy and all this kind of stuff. And Canada Computers.
That's where I built that's where I built my computer.
Yeah, good point there. So with my 24-year-old, about 10 or 15 years ago, we started Bitcoin mining in our basement.
Yeah, I remember you telling me.
Yeah, so we went to Canada, and that's funny because it's too bad Randy's not here. He and I devised this plan. We never did it, but he was like, you know what? Because I was talking about Bitcoin mining, like again, it was at least 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And it was, we were like, power was such an issue, right? Because it was like, everyone's like, wow, the cost of it, you can still buy these parts. And I remember, talk about Nvidia. Like, I remember, I didn't even know anything about GPUs. But all I remember is searching on Canada Computers and all these places to try to find these cheap GPUs because we were trying to mine.
Yeah.
But instead of just doing all that crap, all I needed to do was buy Nvidia stock.
Yeah.
And then I would have been no longer worried about anything. But anyways, long story short, yeah, Canada Computers is a great spot there. And we had built some Bitcoin mining rigs. And then most recently we built with my now 14-year-old, built his own computer.
Nice.
So we were, buying some of these parts from CC, Canada Computers. So
yeah,
that's a good idea.
But that's what I put in mind, like a Ryzen 5.
That's exactly what I was going to get at. A lot of the laptops that we're seeing right now, are, and that's his laptop, but do have those AMD Ryzen.
Yeah, exactly.
And apparently, they're getting pretty good and a little bit cheaper, obviously, than the Intel.
You go to Best Buys, it's all Intel. It's like you get the whatever the
people say,
whatever it is.
He was reading online that buying the new computers right now, the pre-builds and stuff like that's just so expensive.
It's true. I built my own.
Yeah, like because it's too expensive now with all the components. I mean, we talk about what the potential is with Apple, too, and charging more for their phones because of what the component costs.
Does he want that MacBook Mini, or was he looking at something else?
So he actually uninstalled Windows and put in his own. He's like totally wants to just hack Linux and everything.
Yeah.
He has it set up. I'm not even sure. Like I went in, he has some sort of an AI set up. So he just goes to his command prompt and tells it, please change my background to a picture of the Maple Leafs. It just changes the background.
Oh, yeah?
He doesn't, he's like, I'd like to include a widget that this is what he showed me.
Yeah.
Honestly, this is exactly what he did. I want to include a widget that has the weather.
Okay.
So 5 seconds later, a widget appears on his screen with the weather.
So he's technologically inclined then.
It's just, I don't even know what he's doing.
Yeah.
And then he got an award. He got the Terry Fox Award.
Yeah, I remember you saying
so
that.
So he was the only one.
That's
and
good,
it was
man.
Resilience Award. And it was the teacher started talking about how much he likes to code and all these things, and he sticks with it and blah 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 blah. And as soon as I heard him, I didn't realize he was getting an award.
Mm-hmm.
So the guy's talking, this teacher's up there talking on the podium and blah blah blah. And he starts mentioning coding, and he starts mentioning switching of OS. I pull up my phone, and I start quickly recording. So I was like, oh my God, this has a chance to be him, and it was him.
But that's a great moment, man.
I want people to tell me more, but I got to do some more research on Qualcomm because I thought that Qualcomm was going to be a decent, and look where Qualcomm is.
Yeah.
I thought this was going to be a decent stock to buy in the computer. If we can go to the screen, Andre's busy, that's okay. Anyways, Qualcomm, when we get a chance to flip over the chart, I'll show you. I think this is a level. I need to do some research here. I don't know why it's been getting hit like this, but Qualcomm, I thought, had a decent opportunity to take advantage of the CPU sort of, wave that we're having right now, but it's not participating the same way. I'm not in this name, but this is one that, because of the price action, it has driven my interest. So I want to do some more work on Qualcomm. If anybody in the chat, hit me up at TraderTV, Sean, or something like that, if you have any information on Qualcomm other than it's not that good, because it's coming into its 200 period moving average. So this is one of those names, like a Corning got that deal with Nvidia, and it's 8:30 already. Wow, we have just really killed it today. Oh, Corning's down 4% right here. This could be a good opportunity. And I remember when it was back into here, man, 170, 180, and we were loving life. Good deal with Nvidia. I do have a small piece of Corning.
DRAM's down 5.5% here.
All right, you're lucky because you've got that food, and now that I smell it, I'm kind of like, damn it,
I should have taken you.
I'm about to say I should have taken you up on
man.
The offer. There's no doubt you offered to everybody right there, because now we're going to throw to Luis, and that's normally when we're like, okay, let's go see what's for breakfast. So now, maybe I probably need to skip a couple meals anyway. So let's go back over to the desk. It's Luis, and Luis, thanks for joining us in the chat, because he remembers those days, and
he does.
Luis he can probably tell us right now how long he's been here, and this is one of the original managers on the expansion, because I remember Barcelona was one of the first offices that was, and I'm not sure if it was Luis or maybe someone he worked for, he can tell us, but was one of the first offices that was kicking around outside of North America. So there's Barcelona and there was Rotterdam, and I'm sure he remembers all of this. So, all right, a good friend of
Alex Karp's on CNBC.
Okay, get ready for some Palantir time. Where's my Palantir hat?
Yeah.
All right, let's go back over the desk. It's Luis and some small caps.
Yeah.
Karp's on CNBC. Trump's talking outside the White House, and we have with us here Luis Barbado of Day Trading over here in Barcelona, Spain. How are you doing today, Luis? Thank you for being here with us.
Thank you very much, Adara. We're doing great. And yeah, Sean, of course, how cannot remember those years? I started in Barcelona office in 2004. It wasn't me opening the office, was Chris Van Meel, who opened also Rotterdam, as you remember, the two first offices out of Canada. And I started as a trader. As you started, you told your story, so it's quite similar to mine. So after a couple of years in that Barcelona office, I started to open my own trading floors here in Barcelona, in Argentina, and so on. So similar paths for us.
That Chris was a wild guy, man. He used to come here all the time. Wild man. I wonder what he's up to. Do you still stay in touch at all?
Yeah, I mean, we talk like once a year or something like that. He's retired in the south of Spain.
Man, great guy. And yeah, thanks for those memories. And it just goes to show you, man, we always talk about it on the show. There's more to everything, right? You learn as a prop trader, and then you understand what the business is, and you're able to grow it. And I think that's a great opportunity that we have to open an office and really be able to hire more traders and hopefully train them and so on and so forth and build a successful business. So congratulations, Luis, because I've seen so many offices, as you have as well, open and close. And the fact that you're saying the number 2004, like, wow, 22 years, a big congratulations to you on that one. But I don't want to take up too much more of the time of your segment here. But
there's news
that's
as
amazing.
Well.
Oh, there's news as well. Okay, let's go back over to the desk.
So Meta here, we're getting to the small caps in a second. I do have to talk about one of the largest market cap names in the market quickly, Luis. META, the headline's on your screen, but I'll give it to you guys, of course, here as well. Seeing reports that Meta is developing a cloud service or a cloud business here to market and sell its excess AI compute. Again, guys, META to the upside, building a cloud business to sell its excess AI compute. Good luck here for META. Now it's time to take a look here at these small caps. Thank you, Luis, there for being here with us. Of course, today, LHAI is one that I noticed is popping. It's still near these pre-market highs. There's a headline as well here announcing they've acquired a company, specifically this company's equity interest. Is LHAI something that interests you today?
Yeah, absolutely. It's one of the tickers we have already traded. We traded against the first resistance when it broke the $1 level. Back here, as you can see here, we traded in this $1 break and the retracement to the VWAP. And then once it broke the pre-market highs, we were waiting for the next resistance. It was 130s, 140s. As you can see here, this area of volume and this all long time consolidation. So now I'm shorting this area, 130, 140s. Let's see, when the market opens, it will probably start the real movement. And I expect a little movement higher, 150, 160, and probably all day fade later.
Yeah, it's interesting here. I think certainly the pre-market move continues. So definitely a good look there. I think let's take a look as well here at JEM. So I'm curious if you were trading this either yesterday or today. Yesterday, they had a board-related announcement. Today, just kind of a random generic press release that you sometimes see with these small caps once they have one day of rallying. This is a Hong Kong stock here. I could not find any float information. Do you have any thoughts on GEM? And is this something that you guys traded yesterday or today?
Yeah, it's 1.8 million shares float, very low float. And as you say, it's a Hong Kong company. So we didn't trade it yesterday because it was very, very tricky to short it in the pre-market. It was very strong every time it broke the pre-market highs. And also the locates were very, very expensive. Today, locates were kind of expensive, but affordable. So we are shorting this area against this high of 1050s, 1080s. It could break this high and go, parabolic again, but it seems some weakness. Now it's trading slightly below the VWAP, so we are going to short this with very low size and hold. If it breaks the VWAP and the VWAP and the supports on $7.70s, $8, it can go all the way down to $4 or $5 today or day after today.
Yeah, I appreciate the thorough look there on kind of both sides of what this thing could do. Do you have any other small caps that you're watching heading into the opener that you've already traded today? I know you already mentioned one of these that you've taken so far today.
Yeah, those two, and we traded cost as well, KAST. KUST, sorry. We shorted this one and against this couple of days highs, this 145, 150s. Shorted there against this resistance. It went all the way down below VWAP because the volume was very, very light. So it broke VWAP. It retest the resistance. We shorted again there, shorted again there. And now there is no volume at all, so probably it will close around $1 today if there is no volume again. We expected this to lose all the volume and trade around $1 for the rest of the day.
Sorry, what ticker was that again?
KUST.
TUST, okay.
Yeah, cost.
Thank you. Oh, KUST, okay, or QUST. Yeah. Okay, there we go. I just want to make sure I can pull it up here for everybody. Any other names that you've traded either like earlier this week, last week that you want to share, any cool trade opportunities that you guys were able to take advantage of over at AJ Trading?
We traded also GSUN today. This one, it was trading around 40 cents and then it broke this 50 cents and went all the way to almost $1. We shorted there against this $1 round number. It was a pretty decent trade. Oh, there it goes, jam, 850s already. So nice short there, holding this short a little bit. I'm gonna show this in the screen if you want. A lot of executions there, but kind of you see sorting there, closing against this VWAP. But now that the VWAP is losing VWAP, we're shorting below that level. So GSUN, we shorted this, as I said, here against this one round level was a nice short, re-short here in the VWAP, what we call a VWAP rejection. It's trading below VWAP, test VWAP a couple of times, 3 times, and it's already 46 cents. So even though it's few cents movement, look, it's 50% down from high. So nice trade there.
Yeah, great look there, and congrats as well here on that JEM look. Are there any other ways that people can find you online? I know you come on the midday at 1 p.m., but is there anywhere if people want to learn more about what you do, Luis?
Yeah, I'll be here again 1 p.m., as you say, with Sharif and Joey. They can find us on A-Day Trading on X. If they use X, of course, we are kind of active there. And they can email us to info@adaytrading.com as well. And you can also see Luis often in our chat as well as A-Day Trading. So he'll be right here in the YouTube chat with all of you. Thanks again to Luis. We'll see you in just a couple hours at 1 p.m. Eastern. Thank you very much, Edra.
Stuff as always. Make sure you join Obi and I at 1 o'clock this afternoon, guys. Sharif going off to Dallas. All right, guys, let's take a look at some of the analyst actions here this morning. We're going to kick things off with some downgrades. At the top of our list here, we have Fortinet going from a hold to reduce, and no specific price target there, guys. We're down 0.5% at this point now. HSBC giving them that downgrade, but then we also have Carter Bank shares. So some of the regional banks getting some downgrades here this morning, guys. We're down about 1/3%, going from an outperform to market perform by Raymond James, giving them the downgrade. And then we have Connect One Bank down 1.25%, going from a strong buy to market perform here, guys. Raymond James taking a swing at some of the regionals. CNOB is that ticker. Now, Truist here getting the downgrade by Raymond James as well, too. Going from an outperform to market perform, you're down 0.6%. Moving forward, guys, we have Checkpoint Technologies getting the nod this morning. You're up 3%. Going from a neutral to a buy with a $180 price target. Salesforce finally getting some positivity up under at 4% to the top side, neutral to a buy with a $228 price target. First Sun Capital also getting the nod. Raymond James taking his aim at some of the regionals here, guys. You're down 0.5%, going from an outperform to a strong buy with a $47 price target. Advanced Energy also getting the upgrade, going from an equal weight to an overweight. You're down 1% this morning, but a price target increase to $465. That's up from $345 from Wells Fargo. Send it back to Sean.
Yeah, many interesting names there as we, upgrades and downgrades. I like the SpaceX upgrade. I mean, SpaceX is trying to, it's not really an upgrade, a price target, I guess, there for SPCX. And I mean, I wrote it down. as a potential long, but the market's kind of giving it up right now. So, I'm a little uncertain. I'm trying to think about the short and the Qs. So that's like going to be probably my number one trade for right now. Palantir is starting to go upside as well, as we just saw. We mentioned that Alex Karp was there on some sort of a station I never heard of. And that's up to 120 and change from 116. So that's up 3%. So that might be something to look at today as the market now down almost 1%. And oh boy, are we near the end or not? But right now, Meta, I know Nvidia is getting to the downside. We'll talk about that. But there goes Meta, was just up 8%, now pulling back a little bit. Let's watch out for this one. I think this move is probably overdone, but they're stepping in to the cloud space. Meta AI, Meta Platforms is building a cloud business to sell its excess AI compute.
Does that sound familiar?
Yeah, I was talking about with Kramer, what was I saying?
No, because that's essentially what Elon's doing.
Yeah. So this is actually worries me a little bit. Is this signaling the end? I mean, excess compute now. Have they built too much? Has it gone too forward now that they have too much compute that they don't know what to do with it? It's always nice to have that much if you can use it, okay? The fact that you're selling it off, the minute it starts to become a commodity, which it obviously is at this point, that's a problem. For me, I'm not actually excited. I'm excited about this because it's upside.
Yeah.
But this might just give me a chance to get the hell out of Meta. Because honestly, I don't... Their AI has been a disaster so far.
Well, that's the thing.
Obviously, they have no idea what to do with it, so they're going to sell it. And that's fine when you find a buyer.
Yeah.
But let's find buyers first, because now you're competing, as you just said.
Yeah.
Now you've got all this excess compute that you're going to be competing with SpaceX.
Yeah.
And you're going to be competing now Zuckerberg and Elon. Hey, weren't they supposed to fight each other in the Roman Coliseum?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe this is what it's all about now. It's like, hey, man, we want TraderTv.live's compute power, and then who are we going to go with, Meta or SpaceX?
Yeah.
We got to find out who the real gladiators are around here.
Yeah, I hear you on that one. So this is how I'm thinking about it. As you mentioned, Meta's AI tools have been an absolute disaster. Well, whose tools haven't been a disaster? We're going to be talking about Anthropic's, Claude, all of the.
But those are a disaster because the cost of those.
Right now, right? But what I'm getting at is that you have them renting out compute. They don't have any of their own infrastructure. You have OpenAI doing the exact same thing. But Sundar Pichai stating, we would have made significantly more money if we had compute. So if the demand is there for their product, there seems like they don't have enough. But we know with what Meta's provided so far, no one really uses the tools. So he's going to have that excess compute, which therefore he's probably going to try to rent out, I don't know, maybe to the Googles who need a little bit more, to the Anthropics and to the OpenAIs of this world, just like what Elon Musk is doing. So I mean, I totally understand what you're getting at, but I'm going to take a positive note on this because I've actually been talking about, I don't understand why Meta's being classified as a hyperscaler, but not offering a cloud provision service, which made no sense to me.
The only comeback I have to that is that, do you know who the two largest investors in Anthropic are?
Amazon and Google.
Right. So do you think they're going to talk to Meta about compute power?
Maybe. You never know. If they need that much.
No, I think. I just think that Google and Amazon
You never know.
answer the phone.
I wouldn't rule it out. I wouldn't rule it out.
No. Look, I own probably way too much Meta.
Yeah.
But I honestly think that this is the time now. I just don't, all this kind of talk. It's like now all of a sudden, they're admitting that they don't have anything to do. They have this excess compute power, and we got to read the story here. I mean, this is just they will sell access to AI computing power and models, setting up a new vector of competition with industry leaders like Amazon, like web services, Azure, and Google Cloud. So there's different stories. I'm not just going to read a story off Bloomberg here, but
what does that mean for CoreWeave, like the CoreWeaves of the world?
I mean, you know what it means bad for? I think it does not mean good for Nvidia, because if these guys are now starting to sell a lot of this, power that they've purchased here from Nvidia, why do they need to go in now and buy more high-end chips?
Absolutely.
They, if they already have enough in the pipeline right now, enough power, enough compute to not only run what they're doing, but now they're going to look for some other suckers to try to buy this from them. I just don't know and it sucks, man, because I am hella long all these things.
Oh yeah.
So this is not, I know you're not going to be hella long your food soon because that's going to be gone. But the idea here is, the idea is that I think this is not a great sign, honestly, for the industry. And obviously you can see the Nasdaq is saying, hold my beer to this Meta discussion. They're not even participating in this. As many of these mega, we saw Microsoft turn red on this story. And I don't know if it's the story that created this, but Microsoft hit right there. You talked about Amazon there, hit as well. They turned red on the day here on this story. Boom, there it is to the downside. So, let's talk about is this actually a good sign for the market or not? I'm going to take the opposite end of it and say it is not. Whenever this kind of compute becomes a commodity that everyone's trying to sell, that's a problem.
Yeah.
It's like all of a sudden, what would happen to oil? What would happen to the price of oil, Joe, if all of a sudden there was so much oil out there that they had too much oil?
Yeah.
What would happen to oil?
I mean, obviously the price would drop, right?
Okay.
So
let's and not to equate. I mean, we can supply and demand. This is simple economics that's run throughout.
Yeah,
I don't
disagree.
This doesn't mean that it is that. I'm just taking one side, you're taking the other, and that's what forms these discussions. That's why I love being.
What also the issue is that look how late he's coming to this party. I understand there's like fashionable. It's not a good look. If this headline came out 5 or 6 months ago, would we be looking at it in the same light? I don't think so.
No, because if 5 or 6 months ago we were all in la la land.
Exactly. But now, when things are starting to get a little toppy, it's like, oh, whoa, what's this guy doing? Are we buying too much of this stuff? No, I don't think that's necessarily the case. Especially if we're talking about being in the middle of this game. Like if we're in the 4th or 5th inning at this point, which I don't even think we are
over here, Joe. About 5 minutes ago, we were all raw about Meta.
Well, I'm still raw about Meta. Yeah, because I believe this is something he needs to monetize.
Can I jump in on this?
Yeah, of course.
I want to say one thing. Katina, man, I completely agree with you. This is not a good thing if it becomes commodified, especially if there's too much of it. But what we're seeing, Sean, is there is not enough supply for the Claudes and the Geminis, and there's way too much supply for the Metas and the Groks, which nobody wants to use. I feel like what's happening right now is like winners are being established and losers are being established. And the losers who spent on that, who don't yet have the demand, have to monetize it somehow. And so they're throwing their hat into the cloud ring, as you're seeing Meta do here. So I completely agree with you, Sean. I think this probably does come down, but we're seeing right now is not exactly that. We're seeing Claude's computers basically unable to meet demand, and Gemini as well. And then we're seeing Grok, and we're seeing, the other one, Llama, or whatever they're calling it, Muse Spark now, with no usage. So I kind of feel like it's a tale of two stories.
That's exactly what I was just saying. Like Sundar literally stated, we would have generated more revenue if we had more compute. But he didn't have any more.
The problem is this
revenue. They were at capacity.
The revenue is being generated on the back of consumers paying 10% of what it's actually costing. So that's, once we see the Anthropic books and the Open AI books, ain't nobody going to want to invest in these companies. It's literally there's things out there right now.
But we already have an example though of Gemini. These guys have 300 million monthly active users in the ecosystem.
But it's a circle jerk. They're all participating this with each other, my guy. At some point when the CapEx stops, there's going to be companies left holding the bag.
Absolutely.
And I'm invested in all of these companies, and I'm not excited about this. But you know what?
Well, ask your boy Dario, who he thinks is who's YOLOing this.
Well, but I mean, there's a lot of guys. Tom Lee is YOLOing apparently Ethereum, and that's gotten absolutely. I'm not trying to ask smart people what their ideas are right here. I mean, Michael Burry, we've already heard that. And this guy's shorting Nvidia.
Who do you think Dario said was YOLOing? Without directly
Elon?
saying it. No.
Who?
His best friend, man.
Which is?
Sam.
Oh, Altman?
Yeah.
Well, okay. I mean, these guys have been YOLOing for a minute. I mean, these guys can just YOLO whatever they want on their yachts. I mean, again, they've already made their money.
They've already made it,
the thing is, when retail gets involved and gets super excited, often that can signal the top. And it's to Sharif's point, it's been wrong. I mean, look what Intel's been doing. Look what AMD's been doing. Like this could be, if it's late innings, fine. But these stocks have really matured up into some great price levels where if you are a little bit nervous, like I seem to be, this might be a decent opportunity to sell a little bit of this.
Darwin said we need a task force for this.
So. We do. We need to get Warsh. We need to get Warsh in here immediately and just make up as many task forces as possible to analyze what exactly.
Where he actually doesn't have to do anything anymore.
I don't.
Because the task
Warsh
force
is just the best. Man. I don't know. That was a funny. I don't know if he's the best or not. That was an interesting way to start off his. And look, there's only one person here that I trust when it comes to Fed speak, and that's going to be Adara back there.
Absolutely.
So, she's going to be covering, and that's why we're the best spot to be, really. We'll be day trading. We'll be showing all these names. We got some great opinions. happening here, I feel like.
NVDA is getting smoked right here.
Wonder why. As we continue to go downside on Nvidia. How much smoked is it getting? To be honest with you.
2%.
Yeah.
So you want to talk smoke? Have you guys seen Oracle?
This is part of the thing, right? But the one thing that's happening, we can look at Oracle in a minute. But Google's popping, my boy. This is Katina Wilson Capital over here.
360.
Yeah, let's go. Here we go on Google. So nobody coming after the YouTube business apparently. As there goes Google there to the upside. So no compute, no cry. Says Google as that goes right back there.
Well, I'm crying a little bit as we're now down.
Yeah, we're all crying.
Two and a third.
I bought right here on the show, I think
212s.
Nvidia or something like that. Right now we're down to 190.
Why is Google moving
here,
on
let's go to Adair's favorite stock, Oracle. Oracle back to 140. Yeah, you're right, Adair. That is, they had not a nice month again. Oracle, see what I'm saying? That was a monster move to the upside there, you know? And now, like from 250 back in June, actually, what do you mean in June? Last month, that's 20 trading days ago. You were 250, now you're back down to 150. And 150 would be nice, 145. Okay, not good, man. This is not a nice run here for many of these names. So, yeah, should be fun. Is Meta pulling back already yet?
Yeah, it is. It's south of VWAP now. It's all right. This would be a good entry.
Why not? Like instead of just talking negative about it, all I had to do was push the short button.
That's it.
That was up at 605 when we first started talking about this thing.
Yeah.
Now down 10 schmackers from there. And you want to talk about, you talked about CoreWeave. Let's have a look at Nebius. This can't be good for them either as they're trying to sell compute. See ya. Whenever Meta enters the business, that is not going to be good. CoreWeave, see ya.
Bro, NVDA down 3% is absolutely disastrous.
Yeah, so there you go. Down another 9%. All right, so here we go. Meta entering a world that already exists.
Yeah.
So we'll wait to see what happens here. Bye-bye CoreWeave, Nebius, and all of that, man. The time to sell these is not today because you are getting rinsed right now, down 9% on all of these names. This is not, I feel like this is going to be a horrendous day for the Nasdaq. So I'll just leave it at that and go back over to the desk.
We'll take you to a couple different stories here ahead of our rundown. We've got a couple minutes. Might as well stay here. There were a couple different things that I did want to discuss. Yeah, let's talk about Google and Apple, though, bouncing. I couldn't find anything specifically at that 8:45 a.m. area when these started to run. But here's, I guess, an updated look at this headline. So, again, this being reported by Bloomberg. Meta developing plans for a cloud infrastructure business that would be selling access to AI computing power and models, setting up a new vector of competition with industry leaders like Amazon Web Services, Azure, and Google Cloud, as we know. So that's the look there for GeoOGL. We're going to get into this Meta story during our rundown. I know it's been discussed pretty heavily by everybody here, but I do want to give you guys a couple other housekeeping things to be aware of. Klarna here is still making, or at least as of right now, still hanging out near pre-market highs. This actually won an antitrust ruling, or rather one of its acquisitions from 2022, won an antitrust ruling against Google. It's pretty significant.
Yeah, it was a subrogated claim where they basically got about $2 billion from a Swedish court because they had bought this price runner, as Adair mentioned, back in 2022. That's why I meant it was subrogated. They weren't the original claimants, right? But Klarna says the award compensates for lower revenue, which it said was due to Google favoring its own comparison shopping service over the independent price comparison service. Google didn't comment on it. Klarna acquired Price Runner in 2022, as I mentioned, and has since expanded their Price Runner powered search and compare feature to 13 different markets. So not a company I know too much about, this Price Runner company, but a nice one-line off item here for Klarna, Adair.
Yeah, and we'll talk here as well quickly about this Neutron Holdings as well. This is Lime. They do that bike, I guess, type thing, your bike ride sharing. People were mentioning this in the chat as well. This IPO is happening today. So I think worth discussing here. This is offering just under 7 million shares, it looks like.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's a global micro-mobility company. They provide shared dockless electric scooters and e-bikes, short distances, typically for urban travel, right? Users locate, unlock, and pay for the vehicle on demand using a smartphone app. So just basically the typical stuff that we see, and probably you've used this on vacation if you've been in the South. Anyway, Uber-backed micromobility going public, as Adira mentioned, selling 6.86 million shares, raising $167 million. at about $25 per share. The CEO, Wayne Ting, he credits their survival and their success over many failed competitors that have gone to the space over their hyper focus on local level unit economics. They're also vertically integrated, meaning that they supply certain parts for these scooters, so that obviously helps with profitability. They generate gross margins of around 50%. That's not too bad here for a physical product service, right? Typically you see that more in the software space. They make about $7.50 per vehicles. The vehicles end up paying for themselves within 1 year, and they keep them about 4 to 5 years. So there's about 4 to 5 times return on investment here per vehicle. Not a bad business, Adara. $887 million in revenue for 25. That was a 30% increase over what they made in 24.
Let's see how the IPO fares, but let's also see how our futures are looking. It's 9 a.m. We may as well get into this here before we talk some Nike. How do the futures look today, Sharif?
Well, we closed substantially higher than we did the day prior, but we're still below 750. We got to about 746.5. Is where we closed out yesterday on the SPY. But the good news is, guys, we took out that 740 resistance level. We had been using that level as an area of resistance for a few days. So now we're looking at 750 in the face. We get into 750, that's going to be resistance level 1. If we start selling off for whatever reason, Adair, we're looking at 740 as support.
Right now, we're looking at our Trader TV Live watch list. It is free. It comes right to your inbox. All you have to do is subscribe. Now, how do you subscribe, you may ask? Well, you can either use the link in the description, or you can type in that URL that you see on your screen right there. We've got economic information on watch, news, data, the Warsh talks that should be happening at any moment now. Lots of stuff on that watch list every day. Now, Nike here was at the top of this watch list. This was another rough turn for Nike on earnings. China weakness, even though fiscal year revenue slightly above last year's.
Exactly. It's just slightly, only slightly. And they did beat expectations. They'll bring in a little bit less than $11 billion on the quarter, 10.97 versus the 10.8 expected, 8.6, expected, 20 pennies EPS versus the 13. But this is the problem, guys. I mean, the expectations here are tepid because of Nike's weakness. And the area that we look for them to really resurge in, China, continues to be weak. They're not liking what they're selling over there, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. Also, the DTC, direct-to-consumer reversal, is costing the company some money as they try to get back into the brick and mortar, and they're having to pay a bit of a premium there to share some profits with the likes of Dick's Sporting Goods, Foot Locker, and the others are there.
You guys think Nike can come running up that hill today?
Yeah, good one there. I like that. I'm trying to put the sticky note out, but I'm trying to put little asterisks that I wrote these notes down before all of this meta stuff was starting to happen. But let's go over to a name that not trying to sell compute power, but trying to sell, clothing, and we've already talked about this. We got a super chat yesterday about GPS, of course, and the retail side of things, and just things not really going well, in this space. And you mentioned some discounts coming off of Nike there. It's the only thing that I can say basically is if we're going to try to, get going again, obviously we need to break above this 45, 46 area and sort of clear out this consolidated top. But it doesn't seem like it wants to go. I mean, margins of 49% seem to be fine to me. Historically, I guess a little low on that one. I don't, they have that Elliott Hill and they brought him in, I don't know if it was a year and a half or so ago. Seems like.
Yeah, October 2024.
October 2024. Okay, so yeah, that's pretty close to a year and a half ago. Time just flies when you're here. Derek could have said 3 years ago, and I still would have, But feel like maybe it's time to switch that up a little bit because that stock hasn't done much, if anything, at all since Elliott. I mean, you talked about October of 24, so right into here. It was an $80 name. Now you're a $40 name. So either some activism needs to happen here with Nike. They still are one of the biggest global brands, period, out there. Everybody knows the swoosh. I don't really care what country you're in. Nike is. My daughter yesterday went to Sport Check. She got new shoes and a little sports bra, and both Nike products, and both really. I mean, the shoes seemed amazing. I don't know. They were good. They seemed like good quality and light and everything, and still decent. So, anyways, it's still loved with amongst the youth, and I like Nike. I just don't understand the price action here, and I would say it's a sell, man. I don't really. You would play to VWAP. It's going to hold $40. If you're going to go long, dump it at 40. That bottom is 39.50 from yesterday. That's going to be its lows, and if it hits that again, I think there's, we always say if you can't get to the low, then there's nowhere to go. But I think this one does get to the low, and maybe go lower here today. So Nike down 1%. It's not going to be my focus at all today. I don't normally trade this name, and just with the fact that we have this kind of interesting play here now in the space of AI, I'm gonna, and then plus we have Warsh again going through today as well there. So Fed Chair Warsh speaking and taking stage, right? So we could see some movement here in the market, although not too sure. If anything, maybe the bonds, the rates, things like that could start to change. We look at the TLT today maybe, but the stock market's gonna go on the back of this meta story, I believe, and so we're gonna wait to see what happens there. But Nike, I don't mind the stock down here. We talked about Lululemon throwing in a little bit of the quarter there, and that went down.
You like the stock down here?
I just think that at some points stocks do have a bounce potential, and I don't know what the PE for Nike is. I'm not even really sure it matters.
Well, at this point, it would be on the lower end of things. We're talking about a 1% drop in revenue, 15% of that revenue coming from China, its third largest market, who has an excess of inventory. So
you had a good point about China there because the tariff story is still not settled.
Yeah, exactly, right? So when your third largest market is still lagging and has a glut of inventory, what are they going to have to do to offload that stuff is you're going to have to reduce the price. You're going to give those discounts, which is going to obviously eat into your margins. So, this turnaround here in Nike is probably going to take a little bit longer than what we're expecting.
27 PE people in the chat looked it up.
Okay, so, that's still high. That's still pretty huge. So,
would you rather be in Nike or the S&P 500?
Yeah, exactly. 27 times, right? So, at the end of the day, for me, I think it's a little bit tougher of a look in Nike. You guys know where I stand when it comes to these retail names. I think what I believe happened here with Nike is just the fact that they lost their identity for a little bit. They were just opening up their own brick and mortar, and then they're trying to be in between this luxury brand and what the average consumer actually wears. And you go there, and I understand the quality of the product, but some people aren't looking to spend a couple $100, $300 on a pair of sweatpants and a hoodie. And I think that's where they really lost their way. But when you have inventories continuously racking up, you're going to have to get rid of them at some point. And with that being said, you have to give a discount, and that's going to chew up the margin. So the turnaround here in Nike might be a little bit longer than what we're expecting.
And I was just going to show quickly here. This was Lulu. They went down, and then I was like, this could be a kitchen sink, and it did go back up to 120. But the matter of fact is, it's all the way back down again. So even some of these names, they might have temporary pops, but the drops continue in the space. So Lululemon's still getting hit as
Urban Outfitters is the best performing one.
Yeah, but again, this is just athleisure. Like Lululemon, Urban Outfitters is retail.
Exactly.
Yeah. So these guys are actually producing these clothing, and it's nasty, man. And to your point, there are winners and losers in this space, and maybe they just need some Sydney Sweeney action, Sharif, over here, because that seemed to work.
Who do you need though? You have look at all the big time athletes that
it was just a joke.
Yeah, I know, I get that. But how much more could you ask for? Who else do you need to sign to the Nike brand?
They got Caitlin Clark. They got
exactly.
Yeah, Sydney Sweeney. Yeah, Sharif's got this all
for the temporary. We need someone new, man.
Sharif's a new activist in the stock. He's gonna.
Who did Skim? Who did
Kim
your girl?
Kardashian.
Yeah, Kardashian.
Well, Skim's got the deal with NBA too. They've got a few good deals. And we were actually in the Mall of America, and the first time I saw a Skims store there.
Yeah.
So.
Is Skims public yet?
Why are you bringing up Skims for all of a sudden?
Oh, why not?
Is hitting on your Instagram feed or something, my boy?
I don't have Instagram.
I know.
You brought up Sydney Sweeney, so I thought I'd bring up a direct competitor.
Kim K?
You don't want to bring up a direct competitor?
Kim K is not competing with Sydney Sweeney.
You don't think Kylie is?
Kylie?
Yeah.
Do you know how much these people are worth?
Yeah, there's ridiculous
amounts. Oh my God. Yeah, these guys are worth amazing amounts. Who was the one of the Kardashians did her own? It was Kylie Jenner, right?
With Kai makeup?
Yeah, the makeup.
Yeah.
She's a billionaire herself. She's doing that herself.
Exactly.
Yeah, so whatever, man.
Speaking of
let's go.
hold on. Okay, speaking of Kylie.
Yeah.
Teaming up with
Minogue?
Meta.
Kylie Minogue?
Yeah, how do you know who Kylie Minogue is?
What do you mean, how do I know who it is?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. Well, what were you saying?
I was going to say Kylie Jenner teaming up with Meta for some new glasses.
Interesting.
You didn't know that one? I guess you weren't here.
No,
I'm being dead serious. I feel like you're not.
That doesn't mean anything.
I feel like you're not taking me seriously.
I am taking you seriously. Right. I'm just saying that story. Okay.
All right.
I mean, Meta glasses. Come on, my guy. That's another reason to sell Meta, in my opinion.
Whoa,
what? You're buying Meta glasses?
No, but that's what I said though.
Meta's fallen on their face, man. Oculus has been a disaster.
Hold on. To your point, I said that. I said it's not a needle mover.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Right.
I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah. All right.
It's Katina Wilson Capital, man. We got to sit down and hammer out our thesis over here.
We're on the same page.
Anyways, look, we're having a lot of fun here. Let's go back over SpaceX. Here's a stock.
Yeah.
You know, stocks that we've been actually trading real well on SpaceX. So let's go find the story here. We love us some SpaceX. Maybe glasses in space.
Yeah, there you go.
Send Kylie up to the moon. What's up, guys?
Things are kind of a little awkward here at the ECB forum. Kevin Warsh has already been asked a couple times by Sarah Eisen of CNBC, who's the moderator, about rate hikes. The first time she made a joke about it, which he clearly didn't get. And then the second time he said, Sarah's going to try to get me to break, which she'll fail at. So he's not going to be giving any look here in terms of what he thinks about rates. It's getting uncomfortable. It's actually pretty good to watch, but I'll still cover it for you guys so you don't have to watch it. Let's take a look at SPCX here. This actually had quite the move up here in the aftermarket right now, trailing back lower. A couple different notes here in this one, including a Wedbush analyst feedback here.
Yeah, Danny Ives and company with initiating coverage with an outperform rating and $190 price target that implies about 11 to 16% from the trading range post IPO. It also values the company at a possible $2.5 trillion if the price target is reached, of course. And this is the company that brought in $19.3 billion in revenue over the last 12 months, and that gives them a very, very light price to sales multiple of 130. So to say that, it's richly valued, a little understatement here. Now they did raise $75 billion, and the report from Wedbush cites that about $17.2 billion of that is already earmarked for infrastructure build out. And then there was a $20 billion that was going to go directly to the, I believe, the bridge loan for XAI. So a lot of that is already spoken for. Now, we know Starlink, highly robust, Adara, 49% gross margins, $66 average revenue per user, ARPU. That's all the good stuff. But analysts actually don't expect SpaceX to turn a profit, a gap profit in 2026 because they're spending CapEx up the yin yang. So let's see how it does.
Let's see how it does here. Are you guys looking at SpaceX today?
Yeah, I better not say anything without Joe saying something first, because I don't want to go against my guy over here.
We'll say it.
I have nothing to say. I mean, I have SpaceX written down as a long.
Okay.
Off 170, and I mean it's on the note today. I talked about this sort of consolidation, and that's what I wrote down on the sticky note here today, and it was just something pretty simple, man. It was just very, very straightforward. We have the 168 to 170, so we're not necessarily at the 170 just to sit there and buy it. There was a bit overextended. It definitely seemed like that yesterday as we kept on going. I mean, you and I both looked at it at 160. You had like the 162 long. The fact that it popped up to 175, I think, is amazing. But I just want to say a pullback is what I'm trying to say here into the afternoon consolidation would get me to like the long. So, we didn't definitely, if you read the note, again, that's out a minute ago, 20, 30 minutes ago. I didn't like it up here because I did write down that I thought it was a little bit too overextended. This was such a nice move yesterday to the upside, but then you had all of this consolidation basically in the afternoon and left us, kind of not able to trade it too much there in the afternoon, unless you were kind of going short off this 173 area. So that was a little bit of a problem. And I almost said, once I saw this bump back up into 173, that could have been, and I just went in there and I even asked Joe, I said, oh my God, we got to pay for shorts again on this. So I did get in there and pay for shorts. So I'm interested in a 172.50 to 173 short. But for now, until we break through 168, I'm going to sit here and talk about that long. So the consolidation yesterday, I think this is a spot where we can, at least if we like the long, which I do, then this is an area of sort of first support. So I think you look at that. If it breaks it, I think you get out, really quick. If you like, there was some, bunching up here at 167. So if you go long at 168, nothing wrong with holding this thing for $1 against you. I can't, fault anybody for that. I've held this thing a couple dollars against me. Like when it broke 160 the first time, it came back to 158 and we just loaded it up long at that point. The only problem this time is all of our measurements and all of what we use are up here. So, we're now starting to be in that penalty box again. So shout out to Brian Shannon. You're underneath the VWAP. Yeah. You're underneath the 200 period. You're really starting to break. And even here on a 5-minute chart, it does look like it's a little top heavy. And as I look at that 168, this is why I like the long. If it breaks it, then how far do we actually go? Mm-hmm. Maybe we go back into 165 and change. So I'm not going to sit on the bid. Normally like yesterday, I sat on the bid at 160, Joe. It didn't get down there. It got to like 161 or so. Then you grabbed that long through 162, mm-hmm. and that was a great one. But for me on SpaceX today, let's let this market settle down. Yeah, but that's an area for me to look long, 168 and change.
I'm in the same camp. I'm going to wait for this thing to cool down a little bit to see if we're going to find any form of a rally. I mean, we're seeing some of the other names start to get hit. And then when we talk about what SpaceX actually consists of, and we're talking about the TAM, the total addressable market, a lot of it is coming from Grok. So now you have a little bit of a competition stepping in here from Meta and company here via cloud compute. And Sharif hit that nail on the head. It's just like, okay, some of these other names, they don't have enough, but then you have Grok, and then you have whatever Mark Zuckerberg and company have established there. You have the Muse, Sparks, Avocado. They just have a little bit too much. So I think that's going to become a direct competitor here with SpaceX itself. But other than that, I'm still going to remain long. You have Starlink. There's other components within the company that I think can drive this name here, possibly today. Let's see if NVDA finds somewhat of a rebound. It's down 2 1/3% at this point to $195. But patience is key. Just like Sean said, we're going to allow the momentum to cool off, and then we're going to look for opportunities after that. If it could be an all-day sell, we'll be able to identify that within the price action and the tape, and then maybe it'll be a continuation to the short side. But yeah, NVDA continuing to bleed. We're holding up right now. We're not selling off too aggressive here, Sean, on SpaceX. It is holding up on that 170 level, half decent. But what we do have is Facebook starting to climb a little bit higher. So keep an eye on it. Salesforce getting the upgrade. Let's send it over.
Warsh just said task force for the first time at this forum. So I was giggling a little bit here. He said, we'll look at it with task forces. He's still talking here to Sarah Eisen and co. Let's take a look, though. Guggenheim with some upgrades for two of the most beaten up names in the market for the first half of the year. And actually one of them, the worst performing name in the Dow for the first half of the year. CRM and Salesforce getting some love today. Oh, sorry, CRM is Salesforce. CRM and now ServiceNow getting some love from Guggenheim.
Absolutely, Adara. Guggenheim, let's go through both of them. They're not long. Guggenheim upgrading Salesforce to buy from neutral, $228 price target, arguing the fatal bear case for the software space is a hallucination. That's a quote. While the firm does not see a significant AI, or does see AI as a significant risk, and they do believe that the Armageddon scenario they do believe that the Armageddon scenario currently priced into the stock is misaligned with the reality, they tell investors. So we'll have to see how that ends up doing. They also upgraded ServiceNow to a buy from neutral. Here's what they said. We're upgrading now because we believe the current level presents an attractive opportunity for investors to purchase a comfortably profitable stock likely to grow double digits on an organic constant currency basis for the foreseeable futures. In fact, we continue to believe the monetization is unlikely to materialize for now, and that the threat of AI actually does pose significant risks. With that being said, we also don't believe AI will be now's death kill, I guess. Additionally, there are other thematic risks, and they go on to say. So they like both, but here with some caveats, Adara.
Yeah, and CRM and ServiceNow, these daily charts, not looking great. How do you guys feel about CRM and NOW this morning?
So I have ServiceNow written down as a long, and the reason why is that I like the $100 level. Again, another one of these names that's been beat up that I think is trying to turn around, and Guggenheim also with that look as well, right, on the upgrade, as we just heard it from Adara there. There's a nice little bid. There's your 50 period moving average there coming in at $100. So if we do dip down, that's where we closed yesterday, was 99. It's not really dropping here in the pre-market like the way the Nasdaq did. So I'm not as in love. I was hoping that we would open up somewhere around this like 102 area at the 200 period, then just get flushed down into 100, and then we can buy it. The reason why I think that $100 is a buy level, again, psychological. I wrote that down on the note. People like to buy 100. Anybody in the options game, 100 could be some sort of, a little bit of a magnet down there for ServiceNow. So up 4%. not been well treated. I like the long if we can get a 4% dip, right? So if this comes back into $100, I think it's worth trying. So I wrote that there on the note today for ServiceNow. So I like that bid coming back in around that $100 marker. So not a bad spot there for ServiceNow.
I think as for Salesforce, it's been an absolute tough look, especially when you're in an AI boom, agentic features. Like we're down to March or January of 2018 levels. This stock has been absolutely a tough investment, peaking over here in December of 2024, and you're down 55% at that. So you're going to need to see 100% return here in this name. This upgrade isn't going to be enough for me, for me to be personally looking at Salesforce this morning. Now I know Sean went over ServiceNow, potential some of the options activity. This isn't really a hyper liquid name. You will run into liquidity issues and spread issues if you are looking to go the derivatives on ServiceNow. But I mean, hey, a little uptick. And it's funny, I believe it was Jensen who was on with the CEO of ServiceNow. It's gotten a little bit of a disruption to ServiceNow's business. You're down 57%. So, I mean, it's definitely a tougher look here. Are these names going to recover? And I often talk about, and what I have been as of late, is just the point of no return. Like, at what point can some of these names just you eventually write off? And I'm not going to say it's going to be the case here with Salesforce and with ServiceNow, but from a technical standpoint, these names aren't looking overly pretty, that's for sure. So, I mean, we almost have a double top here. I'm looking at FPL. This is going to be the leverage play here, guys, ladies and gentlemen. 24.30 is where we double topped. We can actually take a look at the underlying asset to see what level that would be correlating with before we send it back to the desk. I know we only got 10 minutes left here before the open, but 609. So there it is, a nice $40 pop. But this isn't the first time we've seen this in Meta, right? Like we've seen them pop before when we were talking about adding a tiered system, a paid tier system into the Instagram platform. You had a pop that was faded. Then you also had the headline stating that, hey, we're getting into the prediction markets. And now we're talking about getting into cloud compute. The issue with that being is you need customers. And who is going to be Meta's customer at this point? You can announce it, but if you don't have people paying you any cash, you might run into a little bit of trouble. Anthropic, right away, you think? Straight, right away, Sharif saying Anthropic. So there it is, his boy Dario signing up maybe potentially here with Meta. Let's send it back to the desk, guys. Talk about Burry.
We're going to talk here about a man that has made, a lot of longs and a lot of shorts, more shorts as of late. 4 new short positions, all of these pretty noteworthy names being added here to Burry's portfolio. Yeah, they're all well known here, Adair. Let's go through them. Tesla short, 416.22. Nvidia short, 198.09. Caterpillar short, $1,060.98. AMAT short, 729.40, and Palantir as well. Didn't see the cost basis for that. Look, he also moved his SOXX put options from January 2027 to March 2027, and he boosted the strike price up to $400. He says he calls the index a pure form of overvaluation. He points to the historical extension above the 200-day moving average as the reason for the short. He also, goes on to say Nvidia is trading at a very high metric. Specifically, though, he highlights Nvidia's financing here. He labeled it as Fugazi, Katinaman, claiming complex structures involving insurers, private credit, annuity-backed retirement money are being used to hide tens of billions worth of GPUs from balance sheets. Those are his words, Tesla. He also says he's not alone in this stance, of course. Investor Gary Black of the Future Fund also exited his Tesla position recently, which he said he cited overvaluation and declining earnings estimates. So he's not on his own when it comes to this position here. And what's interesting here is AMAT was in the top 10 performers in both the Nasdaq and the SPY for the first half of 2026. Caterpillar, the best performing Dow name so far in fiscal 2026. So those two, I think, especially noteworthy shorts here. Are you guys watching any of these Burry short plays today?
Yeah, I mean, I think the Nvidia one is the most interesting of them all. But we'll be talking a lot about that anyways. So it's kind of like maybe we'll leave Nvidia just for a quick second. For me, the most interesting one would be the Caterpillar, just because of the fact that it is a data center build out play, right? I mean, whether or not we think the data centers are going to be a huge success or not, they're still going to be built, and people are going to use equipment and these Caterpillar, these big engines and batteries and all that they're making, right? I mean, that were once used to like power everything on a farm, or like these industrial uses are now obviously being used to build everything. And we talked about the unfortunate events that's been happening in Iran. They're going to have to get rebuilt. There's $300 billion set aside for that, rebuild there. We talked about even Make America Great Again. There was an infrastructure builds happening in the United States as well. Caterpillar with their turbines, I just think it continues to be a winner. So if this name can get into the 900 to 950 area, not today or anything, but if that does wind up happening, I think that's a buy. I just get involved in Caterpillar, right? Like I'm here sitting in, I bought some IREN on some dips. I mean, that stock's been sort of a disaster in this move down recently. So Caterpillar really just kind of like hold my beer situation here off the 50 period moving average. This goes back down to May of 25 was the last time we were underneath the 50 period moving average. Every time we dip into it, it seems to be buy zones. So let's just continue that as well. And obviously this is, the start of the Iranian war, and then it go right back up to the upside. So we'll have to wait to see here what happens with Caterpillar. But yeah, man, I like the name. There's the dip down. Well, you can't see it because my head's in the way, but it doesn't really matter. That's a tariff tantrum. We got some good volumes back there in April of 25. That was when it was $300. Now you're tripled up. I like Caterpillar up here, and I think it continues to work. I'm going to pass it over to Joe. I just want to see if there is any size here on the balances to start off with. No. So not much going on. Bitcoin, IBIT's down to $33. Is that right? Yeah. Oh yeah, 58 and change. That's right. That was there yesterday. So SMCI actually, Joe, catching a little bit of a bid here in the pre-market. So yeah, for me, I think
half their front office is low.
I know, that's what I was going to say. Yesterday I said, I lost the word. It was raided. Remember, I was like invaded. They've been invaded by aliens, SMCI. But no, I do think that Nvidia, I don't know what you're going to talk about with those downgrades, but I think Nvidia will be the most interesting play today. But Caterpillar is the one that's on the radar for dip buys.
Thank you for the $2 super chat. It's Shafi. Happy Canada Day.
Yeah, let's go.
Thank you very much for that super chat. They have Queen's Park locked down. Katina, I don't know if you've seen that already.
For what?
For Canada Day.
Oh, locked down.
Yeah. No, we're not getting invaded.
This is our parliament. Yeah, he's like, our parliament's on lockdown, is what Joe just.
No.
So
no,
exactly, Sharif.
No, not like that, man. It's everything shut down. Okay,
he means that for the party.
Yeah, for the party. Jeez, all right. I mean, hey, man, Michael Burry's short on Palantir looked pretty good, and he called a couple other names. Los Polios, I like that you mentioned. What about his longs and Lululemon and a couple of the other names? I think the only issue here is if you're going to be shorting the Caterpillars and the NVDAs of the world, Cat, I can see just being overextended. How long is he going to be holding on to it? But the issue for me with NVDA is don't forget, nothing is on the table with China. If they happen to strike a deal with China, then hopefully it blows him out of the water. So I have no idea if that's necessarily going to happen. I mean, it's been a tough stock. It hasn't been performing well whatsoever compared to some of its peers. We were going over the Intel comparison with NVDA, and it hasn't been good whatsoever. So, I mean, Caterpillar extended, NVDA, I think that's justifiable. And some of the other names, hey, man, to each their own at that point. So let's see what happens there. I want to talk about a little Meta Cloud here.
Let's do that.
Yeah, it's time to get into Meta here. This is the story that everybody was waiting for. By far the most mentioned ticker on our chat so far today. META here, right at 8:30 a.m. actually. Bloomberg reports they're going to be developing a cloud infrastructure business. There are a ton of implications for this, and you can see tons of different reactions in some of the stocks in this space. Let's get into it, Sharif.
Yeah, well said, Adara. Meta is forming an internal business initiative. They're calling it Meta Compute, specifically generate revenue by selling excess computing power to external customers. There's going to be dual offerings here, guys, under this Meta Compute section. So let's talk about it. First, they're going to sell developer access to AI models hosted on their own infrastructure, similar like Muse Spark, and similar to what AWS does with Bedrock. Very kind of similar there. And then you get the regular Neo Cloud, like the CoreWeaves and Nebius and the others, where they sell raw computing capacity directly to users. Nothing, too fancy about that. Plans are still actively in development and subject to change. A Meta spokesperson declined to comment to the Bloomberg reporter who broke the headline. But this is a very interesting team here, Adara, that's apparently running this. The head of infrastructure is going to be Daniel Gross. it's going to be Santosh Janardhan, and then Meta Super Intelligence Lab is also going to have a part to play. That's where Daniel Gross comes in, and then Dina Powell McCormick, of course, Meta president, implicated in this report as well.
Yeah, interesting look there for META. We've talked about this a lot in terms of its implications, guys. How do you feel about this from a trading perspective today?
I mean, I think the stock has spoken. I mean, you're going to go out right here at the highs. So we'll wait to see, man. With only 1 minute to go, there goes Meta. I mean, people love the story. Joe and I, and Sharif, we all sort of piped in on this story earlier, and yeah, let's just wait to see where it settles out. Meta's just quite a decent holding, and this little pop up there is giving me feels of potentially lightening up a little bit. It doesn't mean I don't like the name. I mean, I talked about lightening up on Marvell and ARM and all those names. I just think that raising a little bit of cash isn't a horrible idea there. I think it is a good idea for Meta to go ahead and sell that compute. And I don't think there's a problem with that plan at all, as long as, like we talked about, they can find the buyers. And you had mentioned that Google's looking for more and all these companies are looking for more. So if Meta's there with that available, let's go Meta. Any quick thoughts?
Yeah, no, same thing, man. I'm in the exact same boat. You need to have customers. I think that's going to be the biggest issue. I know we got a couple of seconds left to the open, but I'm going to remain bullish on it. We're up almost 10% here bright and early this morning.
Yeah, here we go. We want to thank everybody for watching. It's now 9:30. A big happy Canada Day to all that celebrate. And if you don't, start doing it, man. It's Canada Day. Man. What's up to VinFast? We want to thank them for our opening bell sponsorship again. There's VinFast, and there goes Meta down $10 right there. Immediately down $10 right there. It was even higher at $10. Immediately down $15 now. Meta getting absolutely smacked to start the day right now. And schmacky, nice move down for Meta right now. Let's see if it finds a bid, Joe. This is where it stopped last time, right around here, about 592-ish. So there goes Meta to the downside. There goes the Nasdaq. The one thing that we didn't talk about, I only have 3 names written on here so far today. It's SpaceX, it's ServiceNow, and it's the Nasdaq short. So we got to try to find out a short position for the Nasdaq, where and when. 79.50 is where VWAP is. That's where I'd like to start it, but we'll see if we do get an opportunity to get that short around 79.50s. We'll put in about a half a unit or so and wait to see if we can get it back here to 80. I mean, I like the 200 period moving average for an initial short, and maybe that Meta's a flush, man. I mean, you're flushing right back into these areas. Maybe Meta catches a bid at some point here. What's up, Adara?
We still have comments here coming from Fed's Warsh, and they are leaning a little bit dovish. Warsh coming out here and saying, quote, expectations of inflation over the first 4 weeks have come down. And then furthermore saying, quote, if anyone thought we'd be happy with inflation above 2%, they will be disappointed. So some inflation comments here coming from Fed's Warsh. We know he does not give any direct commentary here in terms of how he'll move with rates. He's already out and out told the moderator that he's not going to comment, but interesting look here for the SPY dropping lower. Fed Warsh still talking now, just saying that there are, quote, no changes in independence of the Fed.
All right, thanks, Adara, for all that. Meanwhile, I'm long right now, Meta. I wanted to go long through through 600 there, but just took a quarter of a unit because, again, we've seen this fake and this break. I'm going to get out if it breaks 597, to the downside. Okay. So let's just give it a little bit of a breathing room here as we're long Meta right now. Can we make our first Dollar Club member?
Can we? There we go, Katina, man.
How about $4 right now? There it is, man. We are now $3. I mean, we're doing it every day. Thank you so much for coming through with us. Unfortunately, I didn't want to interrupt Sarah to let you know about that trade, but there it goes. We just got a piece out. Will it last? I don't know. We're going to start to scalp out a little bit there, but we're now long at 599.80. I didn't even realize we got under 600 there on the break, but there it goes. Huge move upside to start the day off with Meta. So boom, shaka laga laga laga. As we're going upside right now, let's see if we get back up to 610 or so. Okay. We're already $3 in right now, trying to make it a little more. That top is 607. So let me just put an offer there, 606.50, and we'll see if we can get out of one more piece up there. And then, man, maybe we just let it ride and we see what winds up happening. Again, could turn red on us. That is for sure. I'm going to get out. Let's just use that as our out. A break of 595. So it's not going to be great, but if that does happen, let's get out of that. So there's this 594.99 will get me out of everything. Okay, so we're going to try that.
All right, man. We had a little scalp. I mean, we were looking for the Nasdaq long here, Katina, man. So we punched at 78.60s. We take half off at 80s, and then it just comes right back to our break even. As the overall market is bleeding, and I don't even really need to tell you who is leading this race at this point, right? It's the highest market capitalization name. But what we do have, Nebius down 15%, Applied Materials down 7%. We have DRAM down 9%, STX, WDC, SanDisk, and Micron all down high single digits at this point. So it's a little bit tougher of a look in some of these memory storage names. Yeah, but Meta and Microsoft, at some point, we're looking pretty good. Things starting to cool off a little bit in both of these names. So let's see if we're going to get, look, I believe this was the earnings report or something along those lines, Katina, man. But what we did have in Meta was when they were releasing the fact that they were starting to add the paid tiers, you get that pop.
Right.
Then they were going to do the betting markets, the prediction markets, get involved with all of that stuff. You've seen a little bit of a pop. And then now you have this cloud compute story, except for there's obviously a flip side to that coin. Who are your customers going to be, Sharif, stating that it can be Anthropic, but how much of that capacity are they going to actually absorb? So I think that's a massive question still overhanging in this company, but I do believe that at some point it's going to find a recovery. Nasdaq really selling here.
Yeah, no, I mean, we like the Nasdaq short. I mean, that is for sure. But it's just funny how things change, right? Like now we're $3 and change here on Meta, nice. And this was a name that we never even really. Okay, I'm at 6:0. I'm gonna say whatever, man. I just got another piece right there. We've got our daily goal there on Meta as of right now. But this is the part of trading. It's like sometimes greed is good. You know, you're trying to make a little bit more here on Happy Canada Day. Everybody, we're doing a good one right here today. On this Meta, back of this, not Nebius and Blue Ocean. Let's look at it over here in the Nasdaq as we're open. Down 17% for Nebius as Meta enters the fray. It's kind of like whenever Amazon comes in and says, you know what, we're doing pharmaceutical sales, or we're doing, that creates problems for those companies. And now you're going to see CoreWeave and Nebius right now who are building up compute power to rent out and to sell and all that. There's more to the business than that, but that's the primary look. And you can see now CoreWeave downside on that play. And you had also mentioned we're now $4 in the money, by the way. I mean, we're not doing we'll just hit it once for that one, that play there on Meta. Okay, here we go. Now we're starting to moon a little bit on Meta as we're back into the $5 club right now as we start to get going there. I do have an offer. I'm going to cancel it. I'm going to actually go less shares now, 606.50. I want to get out of a little bit less because I want to see if this does have an ability to go higher. The one name, semis are getting wrecked. We can look at the SOXL right now. That's for sure. But right now, Intel down 4% is actually interesting to me. This is a name that I really like, man. We talked about why I liked Intel there, what's inside. It's Intel inside. So I like them. And then also AMD as a good possibility here as well. There it goes, man. We are almost going to get that Meta 606, by the way. Right now, AMD down 5% as well. And here we go, man. It's Meta time. Fed's Warsh talking. I heard a snicker in the back. That means Adair is all over this. So let's go find out exactly what current Fed Chair Warsh is now up to at the FOMC discussion board here.
If you were looking here from Warsh's speech today to get any sense of monetary policy, you'd be mistaken. You'd be able to look. But if you were looking to get info on task forces, you would have it. He said more information will be coming very soon when it comes to who's on the task force. Then it went into a very vague talk about some of them will be people that used to be on this stage. Some of them will be people that are in research positions. So basically, these people could come from anywhere more or less adjacent to the economic space for this task force, even since some of them won't even be Americans. So task force info here as we get a bounce here off the lows. On the Nasdaq, we do have economic data coming in just 8 minutes here. That'll be the S&P Manufacturing PMI, so stay tuned.
Man, he's great. I like him. I can't really say that just yet, but I think that's what he was during his first meeting. That's what he was really more or less aiming towards. Is like, hey man, we're going to be less transparent with the media, and we're just going to do everything behind the scenes. So, that might be good. May not be bad, but at least you'll have maybe a little bit less reaction to what the actual Fed is doing in the stock market, which I believe is a good thing. Nice trade there on Facebook on Meta, which is crazy. I'm trading FBL. We can see that we're long that. I'm looking to add significantly more here. We're holding up on the volume weighted average price here, Katina, man. So we're going to get ready to rock and roll. We're starting really small on FBL. This is the leverage product here, the 2x leverage product right here, and it looks like it wants to get going. I would have liked a little bit closer towards the VWAP, but I'm like, watch out. So I started really small. We can always add, especially if we hold this 2330 level. That's going to correlate with 595 on Facebook or Meta. Sorry, I don't know why I keep calling calling it. There it is, man. A nice
Yes,
little
Joe.
uptick, man. There it is. Boom.
Bang,
How many is that?
baby.
$10, buddy.
Let's go. A $10 winner here on Meta. And you got FBL, so he and I really rocking, man. And again, it's been really a great opportunity to sit here with Joe and get some good feels here every single day. There it goes. Nice move on Meta. Back up to the upside. Go get another coffee, my guy. You deserve it if you want one. There goes Oracle, Adara. So at least that's bouncing a little bit there to the upside. But yeah, not great for Oracle. 150 start of the day, down into 144, trying to get going back there to the upside. As I just took, so I only told Joe I'm only in a third left for Meta. So that's what's happening. That's what's up right now for Meta. And, you know, we're just going to let this one go now. So we're lucky enough that we canceled. We had a bigger share out at 650. And I was just like, man, a lot of the time we're getting out a little too early on some of these plays. And this could still turn, you know, red, I guess, there today, especially with the way this market's going. Why am I talking myself into getting more out here? All right, one more piece out there. One more piece out at 09.
I think if it's displaying this strength, man.
I know. That's why I want to hold it.
Yeah, I know. But it's all right. Hey, man, take it while you can. Because you said, you never know what's going to happen in the next couple of seconds. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if we hit 3.5% to the downside on NVDA. Like, we were talking about knocking on the door of $200 now. You just wiped out all of yesterday's gains. And then some DRAM looks like it wants to break down, but it's finding somewhat of a pop. I'm going to remain bullish throughout the intraday session here on Meta. I believe this is a stock. It's still relatively cheap. I believe we're talking around like 20 times forward earnings here, Sean, within Meta, and a name that's been beaten to a pulp, right? Like still down 30%, a lot less now given this morning than what it was before the report. But again, I like this name. I think we're going to get an all-day rally in this bad boy. This is what the street has been looking for here in Meta. And also, you told me what you said this morning.
What?
About our boy,
what?
Jimmy Chill,
yeah. Jim Cramer yesterday, he actually said, I was listening to Mad Money on the way in, and he had said that the minute that Meta, he said the next thing that Meta can do is announce a compute business or selling some of their compute power. And honestly, I heard that he was reviewing, and that's why I started the show talking about how much these things were down on the month, because he was just saying that it's been a world of hurt for mega cap names. And I was like, exactly, like that's my portfolio. And then he's like, all Meta has to do is start to sell some of the compute, and this thing's up $100. So, I mean, that's just $100 as a random.
I can't believe I'm
now at 613. We've now had 2 times our daily goal right now with the 600 long on Meta on a compute deal.
Our boy Sharif's gone, man. He's out, man. He's getting ready for Dallas. Other than that, Godo, what's going on? I mean, it's been a pretty good one. I've been talking about it. Like, listen, I'm not here to say, but when I noticed that Meta was spending as much as some of the other cloud providers, I'm like, what is going on here? You don't even offer the service, so you're gonna have this glut, and it just didn't make any sense. So I'm glad that they took that step in the right direction. Now they just need to acquire a couple of customers, and I believe this name can start to recover, man. Again. You got some more out? Yeah, don't worry.
I'm seeing it bouncing off 610.
We're going to pull back here, Katina, because the market's starting to find somewhat of a rebound here. You can see the T-QQs are down 3.4%, but we're heading back in towards the volume-weighted average price. Memory names helping this little uptick of a move here, but I'm going to wait for this pullback in FBL, and I'm going to add some more. I think we're going to... you missed Sharif already, says Kevin. I know, same, man. He's gone, man. He's going to enjoy himself.
So FYI, Sharif is never here at this time, but we do miss him.
Yeah. Just so you know, he's actually out there.
He's at the gym and he comes back.
Bro, first thing he says to me this morning is, bro, I hurt my shoulder at the gym. And then he's like, yeah, I'm going straight to the gym after.
Yeah, but did you hear how he hurt his shoulder?
Yeah, doing legs.
Doing legs.
So
I was like, you're using the wrong part of the body there. There he is right there.
Rolling. So stay in the game. Like, subscribe, and let's go.
Oh, man. The Incredible Hulk. Man.
Yeah, the Incredible Hulk.
Why aren't you watching it?
What if you called him that? Would he like that?
The Hulk?
Yeah.
Well, remember Obi got him the, you know how Obi got him?
Yeah.
Hulk, I don't know how happy he was about that. But
okay, I was wondering if he
Yeah. Or we could call him
Rex. Out a lot, that guy.
We could call him Rex Banner if we
that's the Incredible Hulk.
Who's Rex Banner? He said 2 names and none of them were Rex.
What is it?
He was Bruce Banner.
Oh, Bruce.
Then they changed it to David Banner.
Yeah.
He was never Rex
All right, sorry.
Banner.
Joe.
Who's Rex Banner?
Smarten up, Joe.
Who's Rex Banner again?
Come on, man. How do I know who that is? I don't know who that is.
Everybody knows who Rex Banner is.
You're the one dropping Rex Banner names around here.
Yeah, somebody knows who Rex Banner is.
Yeah, so anyways, that's what's going on there. Shout out to our good friend Sharif. He's off to see, Egypt.
Oh, yeah,
and then he's going to watch Team Canada on Sunday. Oh, Saturday, I believe, is Canada. I think. We should know that. And happy Canada Day to everybody. As Joe and I just on the hot name right now, and that's Meta. But let's look elsewhere, man. I mean, I wanted to short the TQQs, and it did get blown out there early, obviously to the downside. I was waiting at 79.50 where VWAP was at the open. We never got back into that area. So for me right now, we got to have a look at VWAP, and that would still be a little minute away. That's 78.80. So I'm not going to short this right now, even though we've just had a nice comeback. That's your 25 period moving average. I think there is an opportunity to do something there. And I'm really glad that we switched up our mentality there on Meta. Like now we only have a quarter left. So we went from a third down to a quarter, and we got some out at 610 and then 608. So now you're coming way back in now on Meta. You mentioned possibly reloading it somewhere.
Oh yeah, I'm going to.
I was debating getting out on this break now, but there goes Meta back down in. I'm still going to wait for that 595. If I wind up throwing some back on a quarter of this, then that's what I wind up doing. I mean, you're right back into where I'm long. So if you guys like this trade, fine. But I wanted to play the momentum early. That's exactly what we did. We let this thing flush down. Once it took a key level of 600, we bought that back. Talk about a key level of 600. I like ServiceNow at 100. We did not get there. We are now holding ServiceNow at 102 and change. So we'll have to wait to see. Or actually, I guess 103 has been a good hold there for ServiceNow. We got numbers in 10 seconds. Let's go find out what they are with Adara.
Now, let's see if this market hulks out and goes greener when we get this S&P Manufacturing PMI number. We're expecting here for S&P Manufacturing PMI 55.7, prior print 55.7. So not expecting any change. 53.9. So below here, what we were expecting, again, final PMI print, S&P Manufacturing PMI for June, 53.9 versus 55.7 expected. That market dropping a little bit further here. Keep an eye out. ISM PMI Manufacturing, the more closely watched of these PMI prints. That'll be coming out at 10.
Meta just broke below 6 bills again, and not great there. I just said, I hope you guys didn't hear me, but I was like, wow, Amazon's getting pumped right now. What is going on here, man? Down that 1%. There goes Amazon. See you later. Where this name stops, I do not know. We do have a 200 period moving average that's already broke on it. Oh no, it's coming back in. That's right. It broke to the downside. Then we broke higher just 2 days ago on Amazon. So again, I like this space. Now I'm a little bit worried about all this compute nonsense going back and forth. But right now, Amazon in trouble near these lows of the day, Amazon, and at the lows of the day, I should say, as that continues to bleed out just a little bit. We had Brian Shannon on yesterday, just to switch gears a little bit. He had mentioned that the SoFi at $18 may be worth a little bit of a look because he had an anchored VWAP on this name, and looking at it breaking this top area. So we actually come in, we do wind up breaking it today, but it is a nice fade back into VWAP, potentially a buy spot here for SoFi back down to $18. I cannot hate with that. I mentioned the fact that maybe I like some Qualcomm. I do got to do a little bit more research in Qualcomm. I did mention that as well. So Qualcomm right now down to 185. Good opportunity there as the 200 period trying to hold out at 184 for QCOM. And then unfortunately, you and I have been looking at this name, and I know both of us are quite long in Nvidia. I'll speak for myself. I don't know if you are quite long.
It's my largest holding.
Okay, so you're quite long as well. And Nvidia down 2.5%. Not like the sky is falling here or anything like that, but we don't like to see that. And it's just not been good, man. And you'd mentioned how it's been stagnant now for about a year and a half. And although we've gotten bumps up on earnings, all of those names, there's earnings, see ya, there's earnings, fade ya, there's earnings, ciao, all the way back down to the downside. And now you're right back into a level where I could actually, I know I'm loaded into Nvidia like you are, but what about a 190 bid? Maybe we're coming into some support here. Let's give that a little bit of hope.
What would you say is your, obviously you don't have to disclose this, but what is, I just feel like this is a legit question.
I don't know what my largest holding is, if you're going to ask me.
Yeah, you don't?
No.
Really?
I do not know.
Is that how bad?
Oh, I know what it is, S&P 500.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my largest holding is a SPY. My second largest holding is the Nasdaq. But as far as equities are concerned,
so no. Okay, yeah, okay, all right.
Largest
I didn't
holdings
even.
US.
Yeah. I didn't know you. I thought you said you weren't even in.
Yeah, I know, man. Years ago, once I saw some of these, and so I think Marvell might be up there as one of the top ones.
Really?
Now, just because of
Okay.
Well, because we started buying at $60. And then the thing is, Nvidia and all that would be, but we had trimmed over the years on all those names. But
so within the splits
I would say
and
within the
everything.
space, I would say probably my largest holding now is probably might be Apple.
Okay.
All the,
I think that's a smart thing. So.
Well, I don't know how smart it is if I don't even know what my largest holding
Yeah,
is.
well,
So I got to do a little bit of work.
Yeah,
on
I
that.
mean, you named 4 there. That might
Sure.
be.
No, but what I'm saying is I think they're all around the same.
Yeah, okay.
Like my Nvidia, my Microsoft, my Meta, my Google, and my Apple. They're
And
all
what would you say from a
based on
percentage?
price movement. That's why.
What would you say from a percentage standpoint that they are?
My portfolio,
Yeah.
70?
Combined?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I would say if I have, let's just say 15% in NASDAQ, 15% in Qs, and then a little bit of money floating around in other names.
Fair enough.
You
Fair
know,
enough.
So I would
Good
say
stuff.
that's something like that. But
All right.
okay.
What a fade
let's just
city
keep on
on-
going.
yeah,
Good
fade
question
city
there.
here on-
There goes Meta, man. We did not reload it. We're only holding a quarter of it, which is not even that great. We should have probably dumped a little bit more of that. Let's try maybe another buy through 600 if that does happen.
I think that's a good opportunity.
Yeah, of course. I mean, we're both longs. We're hoping that it goes above 600. So if that does work out one more time, we'll give it a go, and we'll see if it wants to go again. But for right now, Meta, again, I like the story. I think we did well to play that momentum. A lot of good top outs there. And, we'll give some back if it does bleed through this 596 area. That was where my stop was, right? So 595, if that does not hold, then we're going to get out 595 on Meta.
All right, man. Good stuff. I don't even know what that means, the Juno show. Let's see, man.
I tried it there. Just tried to break 600.
We got a little scalp here bright and early this morning on the Nasdaq. Now we're just messing around with FPL, as Sean mentioned. I don't want to go over the same names too much here, but this is what we're trading on today's session. If we hold up on this level, then by all means, I think we can find somewhat of a recovery here and a continuation of the trend. There's some good indecision prints right at the volume-weighted average price. We want to see the Nasdaq start to recover as well, too, guys. So, not too bad. DRAM.
I did buy more there.
If you're going to put your money where your mouth is probably in DRAM here. What's up, Adara?
Guys, honestly, I don't want you to watch it because I want you to watch my coverage of it, so stay here with us. But this is getting so spicy at the ECB forum. He said, Kevin Warsh said task force again, and Sarah Eisen, the moderator of CNBC, she said, we're going to have to play a drinking game with task force now. So, it's getting really weird and spicy.
She said that?
Yeah, she actually did say that. She's being, honestly, pretty sassy.
Well, good thing for you, Adara.
I like sassy.
There's a task force for that.
I like sassy. Here it goes, man. We did recently just buy, and not talk about the same names, but honestly, man, same names be damned. I don't really.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, if we're going to trade this and we're going to make a little bit of cash here, we're going to talk about it. There it goes, Meta. We're going to try. I'm not even offering. I'm offering 602 to get out of a piece there. See if we can make.
Tell him. You got the reload? You got identical reloads there, my boy.
Yeah, man. Thanks for listening. No, we do like that trade. And as soon as I said $600, you're like, you like that one as well. So we got that reload. And it wasn't even, it was a punch long.
Ooh.
Normally I'd like to sit there. It would have been a much better trade, Joe, at 597, 598. But we're going to give this a go right now. I'm going to offer one more piece here at 602.50. See if that will come out. And then there it is. Give it to me. Oh, it does not break. There it is. We get it. 602.50. Another 250. Stacking it. Okay. Now we're $3 in the money on the reload. So things going well as we do have more shares now in this space. Let's check out something else, man. What about Walmart there? What the hell?
What the hell?
Dara, can you give me some news on Walmart? I mean, this is down 5%, man. And, if Neil was here, he'd tell you, don't worry about it. We're going to hold this forever and give it to his daughter. But I'm a little nervous here about Walmart. And, this has been a pretty big disaster.
Nothing.
Yeah, I don't see it.
Okay, been a pretty big move down on there. And the reason why I bring Neil up is that I know he's involved in this, and I always like to hear his opinion on this. But there was that break. It was a good buy there at 112. I think you're in Walmart too.
I'm in Walmart.
Yeah.
Too,
So
man.
again, so maybe your opinion is what I'm looking for, because Walmart not participating well right here on the breakdown. Now down to 107. I have a small little petit peu on Target, and that was up to 140 there. Remember, we sold 75% of the position at 122. It did go up to 140. Didn't get anything out on that one. Wanted to try to hold it 3 or 4% dividend or so on Target. But yeah, yeah. What's up with Walmart, guys? Let me know in the chat if you like this.
Are you going to count it out though? Like, I mean, it's
no. I
want
to buy something.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I was trying to say.
It's like an American staple, man. Like, what would America do without Walmart?
Probably still thrive, but yeah, I do agree, man. I do like some Walmart.
It is hella expensive from a piece.
It is expensive.
Yeah,
and
it is
I think
expensive
that's
from a,
I think if we were going to go to anywhere here, I like Walmart. I think they can solve their own problems, whatever it happens to be. But Costco is, oh boy, man.
Uh-oh.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Joe.
What is
$4 on the freaking reload right there on Meta. Wow, we're loving trading these days.
Yes,
but
sir.
Costco is another one of those names where I can throw I'm trying not to throw shade at Walmart, but Costco getting hit hard as well, man. This is going all the way back to the beginning of the year, to the fact that right now Costco about to turn red they had quite a move off January. I was going to say it's going to go red in January, but no, January 1st was 860 for Costco. So we still do have a little ways to go, but wow, I'm over the moon on this one now.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a great little reload there. We've now back to, decent levels as we did bleed down a little bit there. And I think it's always important to understand that you've got to take something out, pay yourself a little bit there on that one.
SpaceX down 5% here.
Oh, yeah. What the hell? We didn't even look at SpaceX today, man. Marvell, just quickly, and then we'll go over to Joe for SpaceX. Marvell, nice battle back. That was at 280 up to 290. This is a name that I think we got to get a little lighter on. That is Marvell. But there goes Meta again.
Yeah, man.
Trying to go higher. What are you seeing on SpaceX over there?
Well, I mean, it's not looking good, that's for sure. Chris, why you got to say that?
What's Chris saying?
I don't see what Chris saying. You say, cut the boy's mic. That's crazy.
Cut my mic.
Yeah. Cut my mic.
Oh, cut your mic.
Yeah, we'll cut my mic.
I want to give my mic to you, my
That's
guy.
mad. Yeah. Anyways, here it is. SpaceX 163. Katina, man, what was our high yesterday around where we opened up today?
Oh,
yeah, and then we're going back to OP yesterday, guys. So if you want to talk about king of all levels, PDC. You know what PDC stands for, Katina, man? I know you do.
Please don't cry.
Oh, please don't cry. Or previous day's close. We'll take a look at those levels as we're heading into that neck of the woods right now, guys. So not too bad of a look if you are short SpaceX here today. I still believe that we're going to see some more downside here. That's just my opinion. I could be totally wrong, but there was some strength stepping in, and we had a volume by time profile that was starting to really cool off here, and then now we're starting to come back in. So as long as we hold 150, maybe this is a steady grind higher, but I still have my order at 125 here on SpaceX. That might be a little bit of a push, but hey, I'll take it if I can. I got my orders filled at 170. I got my order filled at 160. And now we're trading at 163, so I'm in the middle of an average of 165. Let's see if this name can rally. What I'm worried about here, Sean, though, is a lower high on META, right? So we had this pivot established at 614. You couldn't break it there. 611, you sell off a little bit, and then now we have an additional lower high here on this specific name. We'll keep an eye out on it, but all that selling pressure right here, not looking too good. Even though I do want to reload and want to remain bullish on this from an intraday standpoint, like, look, this is every bit of a bull flag on the higher time frame for me, and as long as 595 holds up, I'm going to look to add a little bit more, even though we did go in a full risk unit there, Sean.
You did?
Yeah, absolutely.
Nice, my guy. Yeah, Joe, we like that one. I'm going to get, just because, I listened to what Joe's saying there, and I do think we did just have a little bit of a pullback. I'm going to get one more piece out. I just offered 604.40s. So hopefully that'll just bump through 604 and we get another piece right there, but it's trying to come back down just a little bit now. Yeah, thank you to everybody, man. Put up that stock visualizer if you have it there, Andre. And you guys can get into the chat right now. Put in this is why we're talking about this. Put in whatever symbol you want. Start it with a $sign. It'll start to add up there, and we'll go back, and there it is right there. Top ticker choices. There it is, man. We get that Meta up there at 604.50, as I just said there. So that's another out right there. What's up to Dragos? He said the king has returned in Adara. I got to ask you something. We did see Alex Karp on a station to be named later, and apparently Palantir likes whatever happened there, and now up now 6%.
I'll look into it. I had not seen any comments coming from it down the wire, and when I look on CNBC, I'm still not seeing any comments on it, not CNBC, Benzinga. So if it is to the upside, we had that Nvidia deal yesterday, could just be continued excitement because it does not look like he said anything of note from anything I'm seeing.
Yeah, because yesterday it was like, you're right about the continued excitement part, but it wasn't even like, they faded out real good yesterday, Palantir. I mean, they came out, again, more talking about the deal with Nvidia, again, compute power. I mean, it's the same kind of stuff, getting into what their deals with the United States government and, just sort of outpowering what they're currently doing and just trying to find more customers. Got that deal there with Nvidia yesterday, and now you're up from 116 close up into 125, and now sort of putting a nice smile on my face because we're still involved with Palantir. That's been another decent trade to happen. I keep looking up because I'm trying to find out what do we want to do here with the stock sell. Nice move here to start the day to the downside, but what a great recovery it's also had. It was down to 230, still down that 9%. And I'm going to look at, and by the way, we're still trying to go basically on Meta. Let's see if we can get it back up. But Intel is, to me, one of the interesting names. And this is going to be one where if I were to buy another name, I think I would buy some Intel down in these areas. So let's see if we get to 127 or so. But Intel right now trying to fade out just a bit as no one's looking over there. And we did a swap out from a few of these names into some J&J, and we did buy some.
There it goes, Katina, man.
Meta? Yeah, happy with Meta for sure, Joe. I mean, now we're $6 in on the reload. Congratulations to yourself as well. I think, you and I trading some of the same names, but trading them well. That is for sure. 292 for Apple is a nice level, right? With the Nasdaq being down that 1%, I think Apple has one of the biggest moats around them because they don't have all that spending and the CapEx, and that we know that they do have, and the moat just being the user base. And I just don't know, like for myself, I don't know what could change for me to ever get off Apple. Honestly, like even if they charge a little bit more for the phone, like, I'm fine with that. I do understand the whole some people are stubborn. They don't want to move over to Apple. I get it. And why move over if you're happy with where you currently are? So I don't have any hatred for Android people or anything like that. I think there could be winners in everything. But Apple has that install base. And most people, don't at me, once they're over in Apple, Brendan, they stay there. But some move back. So I just feel like with Apple, that's something that they have is their user and their install base. So let's go find out what's going on right now. It's 10 o'clock. And by the way, we just took $7. Oops.
How many dollars?
That's wrong one there. We do got to go to Adara, but that's now 7 on Meta on the reload. All right, Adara's got an update. It's 10 o'clock. We've been talking a lot. Cut my mic and put hers on. It's Adara at the back desk.
Hi guys, it's me. ISM Manufacturing PMI 56 is the actual print here. That's going to be below the forecast of 57 and below the prior print of 56.8. So we got lower than expected S&P Manufacturing PMI, lower than expected ISM Manufacturing PMI. That's all the data for today, though we will be getting comments from President Trump at 1:10 p.m. and then again at 3:15 p.m. I think he's also touring the library, the presidential library of Roosevelt at 1:45 p.m. So he's going to be on screen a lot this afternoon. Let's take a look at the Nasdaq, which continues to bounce again. 2 lower than expected manufacturing PMI prints this morning. Nice bounce here for the Nasdaq. But let's talk about some areas of strength in the Nasdaq. Obviously, one of them here, Meta. META on watch, Bloomberg reporting that the company is developing plans for a cloud infrastructure business in order to sell computing access here outwards. So some of these neo-cloud names like your CoreWeaves, like your Nebiuses, to the downside today in a pretty big way. Let's talk here about some of these SaaS-related plays as well. CRM to the upside, getting an upgrade to buy from Guggenheim. But Guggenheim also upgraded ServiceNow, so keep an eye on NOW here as well with that upgrade too and $125 price target. I also have to let you guys know, not one but 2 IPOs today. One of these IPOs, we mentioned this one earlier, it's Neutron. They do business as Lime. It's a company that does the bike sharing and e-scooter sharing. This IPO here, I believe they're going for a valuation of $1.6 billion. Offering amount here, $208 million. Then you've got Bending Spoons. This is a tech conglomerate. They've acquired a whole bunch of people over the past couple of years, including Evernote, Vimeo, Issue. They're going public today as well. IPO price range here between $26 and $28. Their offering amount is $1.86 billion. So a couple IPOs in focus today as we send you back over to Sean and to Joe.
Oh, boy. Look, man, shout out to everybody that's in the chat right now. It's been quite a nice day. Let's go a little bit of a roll call right here. Meta now just up $11. Like, we just punched in to this thing 10 minutes ago. I just want to see who's here in the chat and enjoying their day. Oh, yeah, we got the chat right there. All right, let's say what's up. That's a great idea there, Andre, for putting that up. Yo, what's up to Hangry Wife? What's up to Dijon Michael? Dijon Mustard, Mike Peter Ryder's here, Nothing But Junk is here, Juan Padilla is here, man, John, Nick, everybody's in the chat right now. We're really happy to see everybody. Kevin Mendoza's here. What's up to Green Saber is here as well as we continue to go. What's up to everybody? What's up to Wannabe Trader? What's up to Sir Trades a Lot? What's up to Rodney? What's up to my good friend Adam DeLuz? What up, my guy? Hope you're doing well. Sushi Man is here as well. There goes Meta now, $13 in the money. And Honorilo, we got this thing twice. This is like $26.
Crazy.
Right there, Robert is here. TJK is here. Everybody from TikTok. All right, that's enough roll call.
Is it though?
It's not. We want to do more, but there it goes. 613, 614, 615. Where will it stop? I don't know. Do you, Joe?
Look at my average. Look at my average, Robbie. It's dollar in a leverage play, my boy. That's 20%.
That's what we're talking about.
We started small on this one. Diamond Hands, Deontay Wilder. This one,
let's go knock him out.
As we take it, now our average is at 23.70. Katina Man and I having identical reload opportunities right there and entries. So there it is, man. I'd say,
I love Neil on the show, but the way I'm trading with you next to me, my guy, I'm feeling it. I've even got the beard because of you, my guy.
Oh my
It's morphing over here.
What's next?
Everything is morphing right now.
Are you gonna take it?
Now we're $15 in the money.
Are you gonna cut it?
The hair?
Yeah.
Hell no.
But what if it was an extra guaranteed?
No, I don't need. No. I'm trying to grow more hair. If anything, then I may be going to Turkey soon, my guy. All right, here we go. One more offer at $16.50. We might as well, but here's an offer that you must take. Markets have been extremely active lately. For traders, this kind of environment creates huge opportunity. But to really take advantage of these conditions, you need two things: discipline and access to capital. And that's where Trade the Pool comes in. Instead of being limited by the size of your own account, traders can access firm capital and focus on executing their strategies and managing your own risk. No more fear of blowing up your personal account. No more, if you have these trades, you ain't blowing up. No more fear of blowing up your own personal account. No more moving your stop loss too early because you're worried about your own savings. This is what we call limited risk trading. So if you want to take advantage of this volatility in today's markets without risking your own capital, go over there and visit tradethepool.com and keep watching us. Hit that scan, that QR code right in front of you.
Mike, hold on. Okay, we'll breathe here. We'll get back into.
We're completely calm. I mean, this is like I said, we're just getting excited about the stock market. But
Katina, man, we're about to. If Meta makes another leg, we're gonna. We have Portugal tomorrow in the house in Toronto. That's
got iShow Speed.
It's got iShow Speed. It's Canada Day. We have Facebook finally starting to recover. What more could we ask for?
I'm having my.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I thought you were done. Keep going.
No. Well, see the chat. We gotta focus on chat here. We have other people at Hangry Wife asking us about Nike. We could take a quick look at Nike, but then we have to get right back into what's going on here with META. Hangry Wife, we always have to cater to them. NKE, right? Let's see what we're up to. A nice little pop. Katina, man, you were talking about buying it in the 40s here. We're now at 42.35. So Nike getting a little bit of a pop. And then we have someone asking, Katina, man, TKO Holdings.
Is it getting knocked out or what?
What do I think about TKO? TKO is actually one of the names that I purchased as of late. Listen, WWE, UFC, I'm a big time fan of it, but I'm also a believer in the company. You can see it just from the technicals in itself and the fundamentals. Dana White and company, he announces his gates, right? So after every event, he has his little press conference, and then sure enough, when he's saying, okay, this is an all-time, this is the best we've ever done at the gate, this is what we've done from ticket sales. So I'm a big fan personally. I don't necessarily know about too much about the WWE. That was decades ago when I was a big fan of it. Is it still growing? It's still massive. I understand America loves it. Some Canadians love it as well too. So that's exactly why I'm involved with this name. And there it goes. Meta all the way up to I'm in FBL 24.90, guys. We're long from 23.70s. This thing is going to keep running. I said, Katina, man, as long as we hold 5.95, we're going to be off to the races. Would I have loved to add a little bit? Absolutely. but we didn't get the opportunity. We did have one reload, but I mean, hey, man, it's been an absolute on Canada Day. What other better day to do this than to do it on Canada Day?
I have no other idea of a better day. Yeah, shout out to everybody that's celebrating here with us and enjoying yourself at home, and hopefully you are a home day trader because today's been a good day, obviously, for some of these moves, and I just, trying to get a little out, right?
And we haven't even talked about Kawhi Leonard coming back to the Toronto Raptors.
We talked about that yesterday, about how huge that was. I think that is an absolute steal for the Raptors to get Kawhi Leonard back in the building. And, I'm really excited for our chances now at the Eastern Conference.
You think so?
Huge. I mean, show me a better roster in the Eastern Conference. I'll just wait for someone to do that. And then when that happens,
you don't like the Cat, the OG Anunoby.
I don't mind. No, I don't. I mean, I think if we're going to compare the Raptors to the reigning NBA champions, I think that's a huge win for the Raptors.
Yeah. Absolutely. So 100%, man.
Do I think the
100%.
Knicks can repeat? Probably not. The Knicks had a very, and I know there's going to be a lot of people in New York watching this, so I like the Knicks. We love OG Anunoby. Shout out to the Raptors who drafted him, and we got RJ Barrett in that deal for Emmanuel Quickly. So we're doing okay on that front as well. Although Emmanuel Quickly is a little bit
would be
disappointing.
Great.
I was just go ahead.
No, go finish your point.
No. I was just going to say that I think that the Raptors are primed to do something now.
Yeah.
Scotty Barnes, I think, is a world class.
They're competitors now.
Yeah, and then Kawhi Leonard, I think, is still one of the top players in the league, proven last year.
Yeah.
Obviously, health is going to be a talk there.
Yep.
But the New York Knicks, they did, they played the Cavaliers in the conference finals. The Raptors took the Cavaliers to 7 games.
Yeah.
Okay, in round 1. So the fact that the Cavaliers made it all the way to the conference finals is great, but they beat up, the Knicks got the Sixers when the Sixers put everything on the table to beat the Celtics.
Yeah.
They had a weaker Joel Embiid there.
Yep.
So I'm just going to say, NBA is one of those things where injuries play such a huge part.
Massive part.
So
massive
it's like,
part,
I do think the Raptors right now on paper have one of the top teams in the East, and that could change.
We need to work up on the middle.
And I'm a homer.
Yaka Porto.
Oh yeah, I mean,
he needs to be that.
The 7'1" monster in the middle, I think, is okay, but I would like to improve on that.
Yeah.
And the thing about the NBA is you can always improve relatively quickly. There via trade. I mean, there's always people willing to dump salary and stuff like that in the NBA. But you shout out to bringing that up. Thanks for bringing that up. As Canada.
Yeah.
And then we had Gavin coming up. Toronto.
We had Gavin McKenna rolling up.
We've got the World Cup.
A MasterCard center.
Yeah, Ford.
Right?
That's where.
It's MasterCard Center now, right? Or
no, it's still Ford Performance.
Is it still Ford Performance? Sure. Well, I mean, you've been there a lot. All right, man. I'm not going to question you. I think that one back there. But anyways, hey, listen, you got to actually take into consideration, we've just taken a couple losses, right? Gold medal game, we took the loss. We lost in the World Series. But we stay in the upper echelon of things, if you ask me there, Katina Man. So things are looking definitely bright. But what we do have coming to you there, Assassino. You pull it up. There it is, Sharif's Morning Note. Guys, make sure you guys go and check that out here today with a lot going on within that. Quick reminder, get Sharif's daily morning research note, every trading session, the big market stories, key levels, trade plans, catalysts, and what we're watching into the open. It's only $4.99 a month, and you also get membership-only videos, posts, custom emojis, and loyalty badges. Make sure you hit join today. We do the news segment.
Like a steal.
You need to do this style of research, especially into investing. Sean, you're talking about, hey.
What's up, Daryl?
Sean, you're talking about, hey, I need to do a little bit more due diligence on Qualcomm. Okay, well, fantastic. The chances are, if you go back into your previous research notes, you're going to find something along the lines on Qualcomm.
Valid. That's actually a good point. You keep those things there. Right. Yeah, what's up, Daryl? Look, I'm just trying to get some hot takes out here. I don't, I love the NBA, but it's maybe us Canadians should stay in our lane as far as basketball is concerned. But hey,
we got the best player in
the Knicks are very similar to the Leafs, because the Knicks hadn't won, I believe, in 40 years as well, and the Maple Leafs haven't won since '67.
That's going to be
so. We are part of all that, and I do understand that the Knicks are obviously a beloved team, and they did go 16-3 in the playoffs, and they absolutely destroyed everybody. So shout out to the Knicks, and I'd hope that the Raptors can have just as much success as New York did. I mean, that would be unreal if that were the case. So shout out to everybody loving the Knicks.
I mean, we did win.
A lot of love for them. So definitely no hate from the New York Knicks side of things from me. So if I gave that off, I apologize. That's not the case at all. But maybe that's my Stephen A. Smith hot take. Okay, the TQs, man, new position. we said we would start it here. So we did, right? I mean, it just came in into VWAP, well, through VWAP into the 200 period moving average. So we didn't take that VWAP trade there. We were just, too busy watching Meta and focusing over there. So we look over, and I like the 200 period here for the TQs. I still am relatively negative on, where the market could go today. Although obviously we like the Meta story. I mean, I think we've proven that we like that stock today. But the Nasdaq, let's just see what it does. So right now we are short here. We're only a dime in the money at 79.40 now, or less than a dime. And we'll wait to see if it does give a little bit of a pullback. I don't want to, again, throw good money after bad. I can't remember what that sentence is. I screwed that up yesterday. So what I'm saying is I don't want to lose on the futures here. We'll go back to the futures right now. And this is, again, a triple levered. Okay. Look what just happened right there. So now we're in the money 20 cents on this one as that bang. Okay, Joe. Okay. I mean, what is even going on here? I was going to say, I think this is my best month of all time.
Bang.
I don't think we have.
Well, last month, we got a new month.
July. July is my best month of all time. No, June. Because we had the SpaceX IPO.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what happened on that day?
We know what happened.
And then, what we've been doing over the last couple of days has been, SpaceX has been a dream. And then now we're doing some stuff like this, but we'll wait. I don't know.
Imagine being 45 minutes into the month and it's already your best.
Well, that could easily happen in day trading. Because,
absolutely.
I'm going to stop out.
Especially if you YOLO'd on Meta, right? Like if you.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, that's what and that's actually a very valid point. I actually want to put that out because there could be a lot of traders right now that are on this Meta front, and just be as careful as you can be, because you don't want to always look at things with rose-colored glasses, and that's the whole point of it, is like, you're in this huge winner on Meta, you got to just make sure that, like, I just took some more out there at 614.
Okay.
So I'm getting lighter and lighter to the point where now about a quarter left of the reload. So we've already gotten out of that one now, and so this is what we're trying to do, getting long there at the 600 break twice, and just trying to make sure that we get out. And now that's back-to-back times we went into 615, and our best fill is 616.11s. So the high of the day is 617 basically. So, have done okay to get out there. And there goes the TQs right back in again as well. Wow, we are really starting to fall out there. I just put a stop at 50s on this, so we're only trying to make 10 cents of a loss on this one. So when we're in the money 30, we should take it. So let's do that one more time down there at 79.10s. And now we'll see what's going on here with our TQQ. So a nice little move lower here on the Nasdaq for the rest of the day potentially, as we have an Nvidia bleed, and we obviously have this happening. I'm getting interested in Walmart, in Costco again, because although I talked about infatuation a little bit with Qualcomm and trying to figure that out, I'm a little bit worried about what's happening there on Walmart today, down to 107. And I was still waiting to see if there was a story about this. Adara's looked and said no. And
apparently they have a dehumidifier or something that sold really well. There's no reason for it to be down. I did Google it.
Walmart has it.
I found a whole bunch of weird little catalysts, and none of them could even be in the same world as market.
Wait a minute, Walmart's getting the dehumidifier game? What does that even mean? They're a retailer. Yeah, I didn't think they're actually making anything, except for dreams come true. Shout out to Walmart. We'll see what happens there on Walmart. Okay, here we go. I'm sorry if we missed some super chats. Let's run through them all on here. If there's anything that we missed, I kind of want to do them in order. So let's do this one first. All right, Joe, what do you know about? Thank you for the 2 British pounds. ATLN March. Okay, so I guess are you talking about these options here, or Atlantic? Oh, is that the name of it? Let me see. What is ATLN? And apologize if you're going to drop names like this. Oh, Atlantic International. Okay, it's a dollar stock, $75 million market cap. New contract here worth 1.7 or 175 million. All right, we'll have a look at that one if that's the truth. Derek, could you look up the story on ATLN just to confirm what's going on here? So this is Atlantic International today, up 7%. Yeah, low float, I guess, name there. I shouldn't say that without looking, but only 75 million there.
I have it up here. Oh, you got it, Adara, there?
What were you saying was the story here? I'm seeing Circle 8 awarded $175 million extension. That's the story.
From Dutch Ministry.
That is the story, guys. So, good little look there. I would just say for myself, a break of $1 is always interesting.
Yeah.
So that's sort of what it's doing now. We broke up through to 116 top side. Now we've been faded out just a little bit. So I think that's an interesting name. I think you got a good look there by Jero. So thanks for pointing it out to everybody. And that's why we have the best not only the best viewers, but we're trying to give everybody as much information about all of these plays as we possibly can. So that was a good one. Thanks to Darren, thanks for Joe for looking that up. And on that note, we got to go back over to the desk and see what Adara's up to.
I've just shouted out someone in our chat here. I saw somebody mentioning Kroger's acquisition of Giant Eagle as potentially why Walmart's down. I can't say that definitively, but what I can tell you is this Kroger story. So it's 7 a.m., which would be around here on Walmart. So we already kind of had a push down before then. Either way here, Kroger announcing right at 7, they're going to be acquiring this food and pharmacy chain called Giant Eagle for $1.65 billion. It's going to be $1.25 billion in cash, so not quite half cash, half stock here for Kroger with this Giant Eagle deal. But yeah, I mean, potentially could be why Walmart's down. Again, given the timing, a little bit unclear, but that's a story that could be moving Walmart. Thanks again to our chat for mentioning that.
I mean, half cash, half stock. We like those deals. BM&R up 7%. Guys, yeah, let's do a quick rundown through our list.
Oh, crypto.
Crypto, yeah. MSTR was up 11% at one point, guys.
I missed that one.
Why is the Grindr app trending up, boys? What's Grindr. GRND. I believe there was a catalyst. I seen it was on the upgrade list this morning, to be honest with you, Katina, man.
It was?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I believe it did. Yeah, they got upgraded here bright and early this morning. Morgan Stanley raises price target to $18 from $15 as well. So, I mean, they did get a couple. So, yeah, it's just Morgan Stanley giving them the upgrade. So, $18 right there. You want to look at some other names. What is it? BLMB? Is that Bumble? What is Bumble again?
Yep, BMBL.
Yeah, BMBL. There's Bumble to...
Shout out to my girl Whitney who got out like a bandit on that one.
Oh, yeah? Okay, so Bumble up a bit too. But what I wanted to do here, guys, was just head over to our watch list and see what we got going on.
Well, it's Pride Month. Just happened in June for Grindr.
Okay.
Good point. Good point by hand.
Yeah, okay. Is it just in Toronto or is it just is it across North America?
No, Pride Month.
So did you ask if Pride Month is only in Toronto?
I clearly just asked that. I don't know.
No, I'm just shocked by this as a statement. June is just Pride Month everywhere.
Okay, I didn't know it was.
It's just everywhere in. It's June. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, that's why I asked the question. I didn't know if it was across North America or anything along those lines. So NVDA 2% to the downside. Google up 0.4%. Apple up 1 1/5. SpaceX down 5% here, Cantita man. 2% to the top side for Microsoft, and then Amazon turning green actually once again, up 0.33%, and then we have Tesla up 1.5%. Broadcom actually down, and some of these memory storage names getting hit pretty heavy here, Katina, man. Marvell down 3%.
Too, right?
Yeah, we got MU. Thoughts on no momentum? I mean, things cooled down. Micron down 6%, SanDisk down 7%, Western Digital down 5.5%. So some of these memory storage names getting hit pretty heavy here this morning.
Yeah, no, and okay, MU, did you want to look at Micron and give some thoughts?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so we'll let Joe lock that in, and I'm just going to look at this quickly because this was again on our watch list today. So we can go over to our watch list and see exactly what it says here on GEM, and I'm just going to call it up to show you. Adara basically curates this list, and it's like it has all of the names that anybody may want on here, including our economic events, and then the Nike is on there as a top story today, Bloom Energy. SpaceX is now down 5% off of a 2.5 move higher there. And here it is. Look at all these names today. Wow. So there it is, man. 707 Cayman Holdings today, GEM up 127%, gapping up. We had the gap up yesterday on this name as well. New digital supply chain platform, so integrating again. There's that magic word. Oh, they got two of these in a row here. AI and blockchain and crypto. So you should have maybe used crypto out of that one, but there it goes. Global payments, apparel operations there for Cayman Holdings Limited. Go get our watches. It's absolutely free. And I think if you sign up for it today, I don't think you'll get today's watch list, but you'll definitely get tomorrow's if you sign up for it today. So go there and get it. But I just want to give you an idea that it just halted. So it's halted a couple times here today. JEM back into the downside. And we zoomed it out. There was some key levels in there yesterday around $8. So now you're starting to fade off of that level today. We did get a new high of 1050 coming right back into 650 right now. Unfortunately, our segment What's for Lunch today is canceled.
Oh.
Because there's nothing for
lunch. Is it though? You didn't see the message?
I didn't see the message, no. But for right now, okay. Well, I'll check the message. Maybe there is something for lunch. Let's go back over the desk and see what's up with Adara.
Beware, guys, getting comments coming through from China being reported by Xinhua, so state media. Apparently, you've got an individual from China, part of their leadership, speaking to Marco Rubio, so specifically the foreign minister, holding a call with Secretary of State Marco Rubio of the U.S. Just be aware. Keep an eye here on LHAI. This name was discussed with Luis this morning. He'll be back on at 1 p.m., by the way. Link Home Holdings, they announced that they've completed their 100% acquisition here of equity interest of Mortgage One Group. KUST, another name mentioned here by Luis today. This is Custom Entertainment. Apparently, they had record-breaking attendance results from its 30th annual Country Stampede Kansas Festival. Last but not least, JEM, the name that Sean just mentioned, another name that we went over here with Luis this morning. I've noticed this a lot with these small caps. You get one day of rallying, and then they get a second day where they announce kind of a random press release. Is exactly what you get with JEM today. The random press release in this case, as Sean mentioned, name-dropping digital platforms, AI, blockchain, and crypto. Yesterday's announcement is they made a board appointment. This is a Hong Kong stock. Beware, be careful. Back to you.
Oh, Hong Kong, eh? She's in Hong Kong over there. Yeah, so, okay, let's go. There it is. GEM now opened. So here it comes back in for JEM, 607 Cayman Holdings, 707 Cayman Holdings, 808 and Heartbreaks. You know where that's from, Joe?
It's a song, definitely a song for sure. Oh my God, Derek.
Joe! What is happening today?
Stop, man.
I'm exposing Joe live on the show. I don't mean to do that, Joe.
Yeah,
I do not mean.
Right. It's all right. What album?
Dara, I know.
Okay, no, hold on. Whose album?
What? Do you know what artist?
Go home. What did you just say? Whose album is? This is not even my favorite album.
I'm out of
here.
Whose
album is it?
I am out of here.
It's getting out of hand, apparently. That's crazy, man. I just listened to Graduation. After that, I don't listen. I haven't listened to.
I can tell.
Adara's gone. Everyone's leaving.
Everyone's out of here.
Listen, the role that I'm on today, you don't want to leave me with the show because clearly I didn't know about certain things, right? Like. It's getting tough. Hey, but we have Meta on.
Maybe it's Kanye month. You know, it was.
We have Meta on, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, this is hilarious. We are having that's all that matters. That's a good one there. Yeah, we're having a great time, of course, and this is what makes the show.
Exactly. So, thank freaking Rizzo. He's got my back here. He's like, no worry, Joe. He has no idea what you guys are on. 808, exactly. Like in the lineup. What? Okay, so what did we have? We had Graduation. That was the. Okay, I'm going to stop while I'm ahead right now. We're not
Are you ahead? Okay. Yeah. All right, so we're just going to do that, and we're going to continue to watch it. You mentioned TKO. That was a good stock, too. Amazon, you know, that name, it's funny because, like, when it was getting crushed down here earlier, you know, this is the name that, honestly, I was saying it yesterday, Google and Amazon. I think there's going to be two there that I'd like to buy, you know, on some sort of a, you know, tragic move down. Amazon would be the one. And we didn't get quite into the 230, but nice bounce back and recovery there for Amazon. More importantly, though, what's up with IBIT? I mean, we just crossed over there on BTC, over through 60,000, and you're starting hovering there again. Basically, the high of 60,400. Nice, but still $34 trying to drop out there. We'll see if we can get a short somewhere here on IBIT at some point because this market, I'm still down on it. I mean, I'm still not down. I'm, you know, cruising today, but we're still down as we hold the short, as we're hoping for a negative move in the Nasdaq for this trade to happen. But we've been bouncing off 79 a bunch of times, so we have started to cover there on the TQQs right now. So we're looking at that one as a potential move lower. Remember, our stop bet on this is 79.50 for the TQQs. But yeah, what a good rebound on some of those names, including Amazon. We're going to go to Adair in just 1 second. I just want to look at Intel before we go back because I feel like this could be my next trade. No, has not recovered their Intel. So good move back there on Amazon. And what's up with Adara?
What's up here is Apple actually up nicely from lows. AAPL in focus. You do get a report coming from Mac Rumors, or they're citing supply chain chatter, quote unquote, that Apple has cut its iPhone 17 lineup production plans by roughly 15%. So some production cuts potentially here for AAPL.
I think that's interesting. A lot of people saying yes, and obviously, chat. We have a great time here, man. Thank you guys all for participating. That's what we do, man. We like to laugh, we like to mess around and poke fun. Trust me, it's all fun. It's all fun.
We were sitting beside each other talking for hours and hours.
Yeah, exactly. It's all fun and games.
You know what I like? It's like you're chilling with your boys.
That's what it is, man.
And that's how many times your boys give you a hard time? All the time. Like whenever.
Have you seen it?
I don't even want to show you my group.
I don't even want to show you my group chat. Like one of my boys is actually going through a rough time, and he's like, "Yeah, thanks guys for the support," and we all just laugh at the comment. That's just how it is, man, and that's how we are in this workplace, guys. NVDA to the top side, up to 196. So I mean, we were down 3% at one point this morning, guys. Meta still on the upward trajectory, 8.5% to the north side. Tesla up 1.5%. SpaceX down. I mean, we went over our watch list already, but what we have here is DRAM still hovering around the volume weighted average price. But the primary focus here today, guys, it's going to be this name. Let's see if we can hold this 608, not 808 there, Katina, man. 608 here.
Heartbreak.
Yeah, exactly. 608 here on META. And if it does, it might be another add opportunity. I mean, we took an L yesterday at the height of this trade right here at 617. We eliminated all of that, and that's the objective. But I want to try to make this trade as big as possible, especially on Canada Day. Why? Because this is our team's day, and it's everyone's day, actually. But we like having fun, and we like rocking and rolling on this one. But I see some options activity here, Katina, man.
Then let's do that.
And a 50, I don't have any animations or anything, so hit whatever you like. Money. $50 super chat here, guys. Thank you. Today was a good day. IBIT calls at 33. 1,000 contracts exited at $34. Boom, up 54K today. Way to swing that. Yeah. Way to swing that bat. Hi, trader. That is some big time cash.
Hold on a second. Let me reread that.
Hold on. Yeah. $54,000. Listen, it's Canada Day today, and then we're going to have the 4th of July long weekend rolling soon. Do not spend it all in one place. I highly suggest hiding a bunch of it.
Today was a good day. IBIT calls at 33 for 1,000 contracts?
Yeah.
So what do you think those? Let us know, High Trader. Like, what did those contracts cost you?
Yeah, well, we can figure that. We can figure that out right now. Absolutely. Okay. We can head right over.
Talk about conviction.
So we can do that math. At what point did he buy them is a great question. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually pull up the chart for this specific contract in itself. So he bought the 34 calls. We don't know when he bought them, but if he bought 1,000 bright and early at 9:30, well, guess what, Katina, man? He got a 200% return in the span of a.
He said he got them at 2 cents.
Oh, okay. So you bought those a long time ago, far out of them. Yeah. Okay. All right. I see what you are. There you are. Bang. So that didn't play out here today because it didn't. Those $33 contracts.
Right. That could have been today.
We're not today unless you bought something that was crazy out of the money. But he calls that 33.40.
No.
He's talking about the underlying assets. So give us the actual strike price value as well, too, guys. When you
maybe you can super chat $1 and give us that because we can see it. It's the chat's going too off there. If you can give another, $50 is very kind. Thank you so much.
It is very, very kind.
We want to thank you for that, but it's hard to sometimes see. They're 8:40. He said something at 8:46 a.m. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Thank you so much for that, man. That's awesome. We had a few other super chats, I believe, as well, right there. If we can have that going up there, he wants to look at hymns.
Okay.
If you can throw that up, Andre, when you get a second. I feel bad always asking Andre. I can go do it here as well. Hold on a second. Super chat. There it is right here. We'll send that. I got it, Andre. We'll send that through. There it is right now. So can you take a look at hymns? Broke above recent higher high. I love the higher high look. So that's for sure. Clean breakout, more of a squeeze. Yeah, so hymns does have a short float to it. This name is very, very, what is happening right now? Oh, the futures are going lower. Okay, I was just like, the net is kind of ramping up a little bit here, Joe. Is Meta is still 613 and holding highs. Can we get to 620 today?
Pretty nice. I do. I just think this stock has been overdone. I know. Did we go over the super chat?
So I was just about to do it now. So I do have hymns on there. I'd like to get your opinion as well, Joe. But this is the break that I really like this kind of talk. And we talked about that. Again, this is a daily chart. We talked about this with Brian yesterday. This doesn't really have the consolidations that you're really trying to look for. I mean, when you're talking about consolidation, normally I like to see at least 2 weeks or so. But yeah, the hold to me, great took there, working mom trader. Shout out to all the working moms out there, all the stay-at-home moms. Shout out to all the moms out there, man. And for what my wife's done for my kids.
With the kids.
I love her for that. That is for many reasons, but that's one of them. But there you go, man. $32. Hymns, like the stock, it's a nice blast higher there, holding the 200 period moving average. We did recently get the news about Medicaid and Medicare, I guess. We're here in Canada, so it's a little different, but starting to support the GLP-1s if that does, match what your doctor's recommendation in certain BMIs and certain, diabetic restraints and all that kind of stuff. So, I think HIMS is due for a break, and there it is, man, 8%. So, congratulations to that. And just happy for everybody today. I mean, today's been a really good day for many different names. Not great, I don't think, for the old portfolio because, we've been getting hit on many names today, including, the Googles of the world and, not the Googles. Google's up today. What am I talking about?
Yeah.
The chip names is what we're talking about there. Before you go, you mentioned something, and I want to get whatever you're going to talk about.
There, my boy.
Robinhood.
Robinhood.
This is another name that you've been talking about, Neil's been talking about for a minute. On the breakout there with Bitcoin getting a little stronger here, I feel like Robinhood is participating in that a little bit, which is real nice. And whether or not there's a story about Robinhood or not, that's a nice day there today for Robinhood, up 5%. And I don't think SoFi is following with it, but SoFi, 1840 good. So that's a good move there for SoFi. And just to go back to Working Mom Trader, which is still on there, I'm going to clear it. This is potentially breaking out as well.
You know what's breaking out?
Uh-oh. What?
Meta.
Oh man, 615. First of all, we're now 65 cents in the money here on the TQs, as that's down into VWAP, man. I mean, we're loving life right here today, and there goes Meta. Joe, why don't you take it over on that?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we got a lot of super chats here, man. Adam James is super chatting. Thoughts on Nvidia on the rail TV? Did you go over Shane B smoking? He's got one. Over too many. He's got one. Yeah. So Shane B smoking, fam. I made more money, fam. Okay, what's up, fam?
What's up, fam?
Yeah, I made more money today than than anything I've ever traded. I don't have a bang. Hit the bang for my guy or the money or something.
You can't log into that? What if you type in stream?
Trust me, brother.
Type in stream in the search button after you're done. We'll do that.
Okay, we'll do that. But then also we have to take care of Blicky Spears' super chat as well, too. Yeah. I want to get your opinion on this, Katina.
What up, Blicky?
What do you think? See, we don't got anything up here on ours. What do you think about Capital One Financial?
I like it.
Blicky. Thoughts on Capital One Financial? Our good friend over there, up bright and early every morning on the West Coast. Not the best coast, but the West Coast over here, only messing around with Blicky. Capital One, I know you're a dividend chaser. 80 cents, not too bad of a look, but I mean, on the bigger picture, 259, down 21%. I think it looks like it wants to break this key pivot. So I don't know how much you have of this. Maybe hold on to it for a little bit longer, my friend. And if it fails this break one more time, which there obviously is a resistance zone right here, which acted as prior support, holding up right now. If it can break that 210, you might get a little bit more appreciation in that one. 81 cent dividend, I wouldn't be complaining about that whatsoever.
No complaining about anything around here these days.
No new friends, no new friends.
No new friends. So I don't know what to do. I'm at 618.
There we go, Katina, man.
Right now, I got some out at 615 again there. Thanks for bringing it up again, because I'm trying to let this thing roll, and I only have right now, like I said, maybe now 15% left, and I'm gonna take another out right here at 18s, and then we'll just let the rest of it honestly just ride. This is a $17 winner. You got FBL over there, and we're just kind of cruising now.
Yeah, man.
And a shout out to my good friend as well. On the chat, that's what's up, Salvador, man. He's talking about having this TQQ short with me, and this is now 80 cents in the money and starting to do something as well.
So it's really moving.
This is really starting to go.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
That's what I'm talking about.
Let's just go diamond hands. Yeah. I mean, I think this is.
Dude, look where I took my first out at the break of the high of the day.
Yeah. Oh, your first out? Go to Joe's screen.
Yeah. My first out was at the break. So I said, hey, we're going to start small. I believe this is going to be a trend. This is huge for Meta. Boom. I started really small, but then I really put on my full risk unit right here. And then I held this all the way from 23.70 all the way to 24.70. So $1 just like that, holding full position on this. And it's been absolutely skyrocketing. We're going to take a little bit more now. And I'm currently sitting on, Katina, man, only 20% left up here. But FBL up 20%, 10% there in the actual underlying asset, 1017 for those who know. So if you guys want to use music references on me, let's see if you know who 1017 is. All right, that's what I thought, Adara and Sean. So there it is, man. Some nice.
That sounds incredibly familiar.
Familiar isn't good enough. Pardon me?
Is it not Gucci Mane?
It is Gucci Mane.
I knew it. Come on, man. You can't mess with
This guy's Joe trying.
Yeah, there we go. No, Adara knows her music, man. Good stuff. As Meta is continuing to climb, the long-term portfolio is loving it. Let's go. Someone said Poe Shiesty. Yeah, you got in a little bit of trouble. But Poe's not a part of it. Did you hear what Poe did, Adara?
What did he do?
He actually robbed Gucci Mane, and he's now going back into federal prison.
Oh, he just released a song called Mane. That's really
yeah. So, I mean, there it is, man. You don't want to do that. Yeah, to the Brook Squad. And did you ever used to listen to Waka Flocka Flame?
I have a few of these guys on my.
There it goes. You're saying it wrong. It's Poe Shiesty, isn't it?
I thought it was Pooh Shiesty.
It's not. I thought it's. Yeah, I swear it's like Poe. Yeah. So anyway. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Some of those guys are not the brightest, especially when you have all that money and you decide to do all this. All right, I call it Poe. But anyways, beautiful stuff here, guys. This is a trading show, all right. This is not rap lore. What was that? It was noisy. With, I believe it was Vice News had that noisy segment within it there. This is not noisy. This is Trader TV Live. And on Trader TV Live, we are up 20% in FPL. And we pretty much have the bottom at this point, guys. So not too bad of a look.
Man, this has been, what's up, Ross in there talking about us slaying this. And it's been real good, man. Thank you. Yeah, it is. People are saying that it is the Pooh Shiesty.
It's Pooh?
So that's what people are saying. But anyways, whoever's from Atlanta is who I will believe. He's not? Okay.
Yeah, he's from Memphis.
Oh, there we go.
He's from Memphis.
Very south over there. So shout out to
R.I.P. Dolph, too.
Going on there. All right, yeah, but you're right. All right, let's just keep going here as there it goes, man. 78.70 right now, trying to come in to those levels here for the Nasdaq, and just covering it. Honestly, I have now 30% left, so 1/3 left of this position as we came right into 78.50, and just took that fill. So I'm slowing down a little bit here as we'll continue to watch out for that one. And Meta, so my best out is 18s. Could consider getting some more out here at 20, but there it goes. Oops, there it is. Here it is. Meta right there.
Got a little bit more out up there.
And just to show you, I only have 2 trades on today, and it was going to be the Meta trade and the Nasdaq trade as we're heading to 10:40. And again, a big shout out to everybody who's watching today. This is my watch list that I generally look at every single day, and this is like the names that I have attached to my scanner. So I don't know if you can zoom in on this. Maybe there we go. Look at this guy, man, Andre. This guy's the man. But these are the stocks that we're looking at here in my own personal portfolio and for the show. So whenever I have a scanner up, Joe made me put TKO in here, so you're going to see that in a minute. Meta, Palantir, Coinbase, 6% for Coinbase, 6% for Roblox. We talked about Roblox yesterday. We like that name. Shopify, 6% today. Ethereum and Robinhood upside, both 5%. There's your TKO up 4% today. PayPal up 3%. On the downside, what's hitting today? Micron down 7. Intel down 7. SpaceX down 6. SMCI down 5. My guy Armin Marvell both down 5. AMD down 5. Walmart trying to battle back, but still down 5. Mara down. SMH. SMH is the most interesting name for me, and I'll tell you why. What about a flip over of all your AI stocks into SMH? Now, I'm not talking about the Googles of the world, but what about your Marvells, some of these chip names that have been sort of going hard? If you get SMH, you get a little bit of them all into that one. Not a bad idea there. As we talked about, maybe ETFs, a little bit of a safer spot than some other names. Because like today, if you're in SMH, if you had done that move today for SMH, well, where was that? It was only down 3% or something. Yeah, 4%, as opposed to some of these other names down 4 and 5%. So a little bit of an interesting look there for the watch list and some of those names that are moving around today. So yeah. Oh, the IPO, when does that hit? Just a quick look. I just want to check that out because someone just mentioned it here. Let's sort it by market time and just see the update. So there's Lime, has not hit yet. What was the name of the other one, Adara?
BSP.
Yeah, so they're both
BSP
right here.
BSP 30.45 is the tap that's above the price.
Right, okay, so there's Lime right now. We'll have a quick look. The price on Lime right now tapping 27. Do you happen to remember what that might have been, Adara? Lime?
Wait, what are you asking about?
The tap is now 27.
Okay, so we were looking, I think, between 24 and 26.
Okay, so a little higher for Lime, but the demand here is very light, man. 200,000 shares, so a little light on the demand side for the Lime ETF and BSP as well. Much more interest there on the BSP, now to 30.45. So a couple different names there to look out for on the IPO front. All right, it was a call for Adara. If it's still on, we'll go back there.
Let's take a look at the sector board, and let's start with a name everybody's talking about. Jake Grant in our chat asking, what's going on with NeoClouds? I'll tell you it has to do with Meta. META, basically what they did here is they came out, reportedly, according to Bloomberg, not confirmed, and they're going to be getting into the cloud business to sell some compute. That's going to be a bad look for the neocloud. So that, Jake Grant, is why these names are down. Other names in the sector that are strong include Palantir up 8%, Apple up about 9%, ServiceNow and CRM up 5% each, MSFT up about 3%. You've got strength here at ADP. Oracle, though, for Oracle to the downside, very likely for the same reason the neoclouds are in relation to this META story. Other strength in finance, consumer non-durables, transportation, process industries, health services, commercial services. Now, what's weak? I'll tell you. Industrial services is struggling. Non-energy minerals is struggling. Health tech for the second day in a row, Eli Lilly and J&J pulling lower. We know you've got some of that availability here for seniors on Medicare for these GLP-1s like from Lilly and from Novo. We also know Eli Lilly going to be under that investigation from the House China Select Committee led by John Molinar. That was announced yesterday, so maybe some other negative sentiment. AbbVie and Merck also connected to that Molinar investigation. Retail trade generally strong, but Walmart, the stone on this one's ankle, and producer manufacturing weak, electronic tech with the exception of Apple, pretty weak. And you've got, I think, especially these memory names, which led the Nasdaq and the SPY in the first half of 2026. Really rough start to the second half of the year for them. Back to you.
I have an important announcement to make. Obi is in the building.
Oh, yeah.
So we're excited to have Obi come through here as Sharif taking a couple days off. Obi will be sitting in there for the next 2 days, I believe. And I don't know, is Sharif back on Monday? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, so we'll enjoy it with Obi for now.
Your boy's back on Tuesday.
Yeah, Neil. Yeah, it should be exciting.
Yeah.
Hear what he's saying about London and all of them. So the only thing I want to say about this MetaTrade, obviously now it's $25 in the money. But it's we've seen these levels before.
Yes, sir.
You know, on the talk of a introduction of their new AI platform, or and it was also that they were planning to sell memberships or not memberships. What's the word I'm looking for there? Monthly subscriptions. That's the word. They're into their platform and helping you out with WhatsApp and giving some people some different abilities there for stories and all that.
You know how many
stuff. That didn't go over.
You know how many people are actually on WhatsApp?
Billions.
3 billion people.
Yeah, I was gonna say
3 billion users
more, I think.
They're on Instagram.
Yeah, and they've really yet to monetize that as far as I know. I mean, I'm opening up WhatsApp every day. I have it open right now.
Yeah, and now you're as for a couple of months ago is when you're really starting to see kind of like those other like pages where they show up on your thing.
Okay.
But there's still nothing from a digital ad standpoint.
Right, but you know how they're. You know what? Sorry, I'm going to get a piece out right now.
Yeah, get a piece. I took some off the highs right here as well too. Continue
right here if we can. There it is. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. 21%.
$24 winner.
21.
They're monetizing it on the commercial side. So what they're doing is some companies are using WhatsApp obviously for intra. Because it does have the encryption. Yeah. So what they're offering, I think, is instead of using GChat or something like that, like we have here.
Yeah. You're using WhatsApp.
Yeah, people are over there and using WhatsApp a little bit more. I find it easier to chat on WhatsApp. I really like it.
Than iMessage?
Than the Google Chat.
I hear you.
Yeah, the GChat. So I prefer it. Doesn't mean it's better or anything like that, but WhatsApp, yeah. And the thing about WhatsApp too is just the user base that they have on Instagram and Facebook. Eventually,
I just find that like whenever I don't know if you notice this, but like if you're ever in contact with somebody, you go on vacation and you're talking to like a tour guide or something along those lines. It's just like everyone's instantly hitting you up on.
I have
WhatsApp.
A perfect example of that. When we went to Mexico, we had a butler.
Yeah.
And he immediately just gave the WhatsApp. Exactly. And he's like, "Yo, let me know at any time.
Anytime you need.
If you need anything." Exactly. So it's like do.
Exactly.
And then it's funny because Marissa told me that the guy came on Marissa's Facebook account. Like it suggested him as like a friend.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Right so just to talk about being in the same ecosystem.
Yeah.
Jinx. There on the ink.
Go me a drink. Oh, we don't know each. I don't know if you.
We're trying to make another bet. You and Neil are the only ones that have the bet. You have everybody else. No, you have the Dodgers.
And I gave him everybody.
And he has everybody else.
Hey, it's kind of it's stingy on it. I'm like 2-1 on it.
How about I take the Raptors to win the Eastern Conference?
And I'm a Raptors fan.
I know that's the
thing, right? Like,
I don't think they're going to win. I don't think they're actually going to win the Eastern Conference, but I want to bet it against another team.
Yeah, we'll find a way. Maybe we'll make a deal.
I think New York's still going to be having. What
do you think's going on with Jaylen Brown there? You think he's going to get out of Boston or what? I mean, he wouldn't be a horrible pickup for the.
The thing about Boston is they had Tatum, he's coming off that injury and everything.
Yeah.
Boston still is more to go there. I know they lost on Giannis, Giannis. Giannis there, they lost on him. He went over. Milwaukee, they lost him. The Heat got Giannis. So
he got Giannis.
That's an interesting look.
Tyler Herro.
I mean, Bam. Yeah, they traded him.
He's
away.
over to
But Bam, didn't Bam grab like 85 points or something?
Yeah, he hit the record.
Yeah,
man. Yeah, he hit the record.
Shout out to that guy. He shot like 40 free throws or something in that game. But that's part of the game there. All right, 10:47. And yeah, good talk here today for sure. Here we go. Working. Oh, another one. Oh, why is this going back? We actually already got this super chat there. So I'll clear that off. Here we go. But first, that one just left. I don't know what happened to that one. That was first of the month. I'll get that back up there. We do have a lot of, let's just roll through these. Bone Thugs and Harmony. I mean, it's the first of the month. You know, wake up.
Dude, you're asking the wrong dude,
it's
man.
It's the first of the month. Happy Canada Day for everybody today as well. Next. Ooh.
Oh, okay. I think this is along your lines.
Yeah, I'm wondering if we have the same wife over there. Hopefully not. But yeah, my kids are. I mean,
she might be buying Elf products.
Oh, Elf product. We bought some of this last weekend.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we went into Target there. That was a big one there, and great take, man. $28 on Elf. I mean, I don't even know when she got that, but I was gonna say like $28 is a heck of a long time ago. Don't let this happen again to your wife's position, okay? Because if you start to moon on this name, now Elf, they just released a couple new products. I know that. I forget what line they are, but they're mimicking almost exactly some of these big brands that are out there. I think Elf has a huge runway back up to the upside. I love that trade, and I wish this was a name that I had. We've been talking about Elf and Sephora for minutes. Again, having my wife and my daughter are all over those things, and I really like Elf Cosmetics, so I think that's a great buy. I was gonna say the 200 period's coming up, so my advice, always trim something. You know, when you get to certain levels, 200 period is one of those. So congratulations to that Elf trade.
Absolutely, big.
All right, Neil Yo LOL or Neil Yo LOL YOLO. All right, Meta is 40% of my liquid assets. Well, it's, I guess I would consider. Would you consider a stock a liquid asset? I would think so. You could sell it
very much so. Very much
in the open market there. So no problem.
Like if you needed the cash today, you could get it.
So you added, yes. Well, that's what I'm saying. Very liquid, as long as you don't need it on the weekend.
Yeah, exactly. Well, on the weekend.
Okay, so I just added to the position on the higher low. Good. I mean, on the 5 period EMA on the 12-hour chart at 5:58 yesterday. I'm reloaded, so we do have a thing for that. We'll do that for you guys right now. There it is. Oops.
$75 ITM.
Okay, it's a good look there. Look, I mean, we obviously both Joe and I are long Meta there. I think the story continues to work. I was saying that I think it could be potentially a negative there for the rest of the space, but not necessarily for Meta, because if they have extra compute and they can sell it, that's good for them. But we are seeing a downswing today in AMD and in Nvidia and in Amazon. So XLE. So do you know what the XLE ETF is?
Yeah, the energy.
Energy, exactly. One day fell through major support. Yeah, I mean, we could look at the XLE. I own an equivalent of XLE.
Top holding of XLE.
In Canada.
Top holding of XLE.
XOM?
Bang.
Okay, good. Glad to have that one in there. Glad I got that right, Joe. I don't want Joe to, get one on me there. There. It's lucky because I was going to go, it was a toss-up between CVX and XOM. So I just went with ExxonMobil. But yeah, you're right, man. It did break below major support. And just like we talked with Working Mom there about that trade, and that was specifically HIMS breaking upside. Yeah, this is breaking back downside. So collect the dividend is what I'm trying to do on these kind of names. But yeah, I don't want to sell energy now. I think you've missed the boat on selling it. So I would kind of wait for it. I do think that energy does have a place in portfolio, even as some sort of a hedge. Just like the fact that silver has gone down recently, as well as gold. You might not like these names, but I do think that there is a use case for silver, copper, and gold, and there's something to be said about that. But even crypto has a place in the portfolio. I'm not sure it's at 60,000 or not, but I do like some of those names to diversify a little bit. If you're stuck, that individual had 40% of his holdings were in Meta.
Yeah,
I think that's maybe a little too.
You think it's too concentrated?
Well, I mean, again, it depends on what that 40% means to you.
Even when you put in a new high of the day right now?
I mean, it depends if it's in your IRA, it depends if it's in your 401k.
Exactly.
Like we have here in your RRSP and stuff like that. I feel like if you have 40%, if you're trading your RRSP, it's like a retirement fund, For me, a little too risky having 40% of it into one name.
Yeah.
But Meta, you could go, could be worse names.
Sean, can I be honest with you, man?
Always.
I'm a little bit yeah, exactly. I don't know why I started it like that. My best success in the market, and I mean, when I was starting, again, I got lucky, I don't know, lucky, whatever, right place, right time, was with the marijuana companies. But that was when I received the most exponential gain, was having a heavy concentration. I don't know if that's necessarily the answer, but when I've had, so there was 2 times where I've hit it the biggest, me personally, was when there was, I'm not gonna call it crises, but something coming out of an emerging market. So you had the marijuana smitteens, and then you had the COVID pandemic in 2020, where I'm like, okay, I was heavily concentrated in who was going to be the front runner in the vaccine, and then I also was heavily concentrated in the aspect of who was gonna be the number one coming out on top in the weeds.
Right.
So again, I'm not saying do that, but
no, I was going to say it's because we have a story, tale of 2 stories. My worst ever investing times were in the weed stocks. Because
I mean, we both have the same one down 99.9%.
I had many of them down 99.9%.
But I offloaded.
That's what I'm saying. So that was the next part of that story that I wanted to talk about, was the fact that, when they run hot, you got to figure out, where the outs are, right? Because we could say, oh, my best investing was Intel. I bought it at 25 bucks, 40. But in 6 months from now, this name could be back down to 40 bucks.
Exactly.
So it is about it. And that's why I think that when we talk about these things, it's very, very important that you're able to understand that there is a time and place to get out of some of these names. And it might not be out of them all, but definitely ring the register at some point.
And also, to clarify some things as well, too, Katina, man, I was at a time where I wasn't hyper-focused on the market. Like, I wasn't looking at it every day. So there was days within my portfolio where I would go weeks at a time without even looking at it. And then eventually I just was fortunate enough to buy Canopy Growth Corp at approximately CGC. like $4 and sold it at 50 bucks. So
and I think you're right about that whole emerging market thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, if you can get, like, an SMR was pennies, QBTS pennies, IonQ, like these quantum names, and then we just said the uranium names as well, let alone just a name like Micron, going from 40 bucks to $1,200.
So I was reading something when I just paused there, but yeah, man, I totally agree.
Okay, you're allowed to pause.
Yeah.
We're only talking now for.
I know you were working on the
3.5
dramatic
straight hours.
I know you were working on the dramatic pauses not too long ago. Remember when you were doing that, or no?
Yes, I remember. Okay, let's go back over to Adara. It's 10:54. It's or CMA, one of them. It's Money Talks.
We are going to talk about some money, guys. Here is the DXY. Actually, nice look here. This is very much in an uptrend from early May 2026. You make this double bottom here on the chart from a technical standpoint, then you just push to the upside, making higher low after higher low. We did have a little bit of consolidation with that 3-day decline that ended yesterday. So we put in a green candle yesterday. Today, trying to push higher. Let's see if we can take out and make new, more, I was going to say multi-year, but it's really just over 1 year highs here and break above this 101.7 level that we made last Wednesday, a week ago from today. We did get some economic data coming through here earlier, 9:45 a.m., lower than expected. S&P PMI Manufacturing, ISM Manufacturing PMI also lower than expected at 10 a.m. Let's talk about the CME Fed Watch tool. We are still, this really isn't too changed. Like, you're seeing either like 72 to 70% chance of a rate being held and then like 27 to 30% chance of rates being hiked. Here's a look at the probabilities here. We're still seeing, again, a 50% chance of a hike in in September. Very likely rates will be held in July. And if you thought that Kevin Warsh was going to give you any sense of where the rates were going to go during his appearance at the ECB Bank Forum today, no, not a clue. He was actually, there was kind of a little tense back and forth between himself and the moderator, CNBC's Sarah Eisen, over whether or not he was going to give any sense of forward guidance. He did not. But you know what he did do is he talked a lot about task forces, to the point where the moderator joked that it should be a drinking game. How many times he mentioned task forces? He said that there could even be some people who used to sit on that stage, which was all central bank regulators, so implying there could be some former high-level bank executives that could be in this group. He also said it could be researchers, it could be people from across the globe. So still not a lot of clarity as to who's going to be in these task forces. We know that there are 5 general task force frameworks that he announced, but from what he's saying, there could always be a lot more where that's coming from. But again, even though we got a lot of info about task forces, we got pretty much no info about where he thinks rates are going to go from here. Back to you.
Yeah, just interesting back and forth there. And I mean, let's have a quick look at this. And by the way, the TQQs is now, we only have 2 trades today, man. One is, Meta, and the other one is the market. And there goes the TQQs. And again, written down on the sticky note as a short. Just keep coming back every day, man. As long as I'm here, we'll put something out. And there it is, man. The $80 short. It didn't get to 80, so we just had to short the 200 period, which we love, Joe.
Yeah.
We talked about that. Even when this came in, remember? We're like, we'll take this trade. So there it is, man. Came in there. So shout out to that one. And then we have SpaceX. And then we also did write down on here because we wrote this note down there about Meta. So we're going to watch out for Meta. We talked about CoreWeave and Nebius. And we do have Obi coming through. Obi is very familiar with all of these names. So he's going to be going over Nebius, CoreWeave, and everything. And even Circle yesterday had quite a crazy move there. We'll talk about some crypto play. Yeah, exactly. So that's
Circle.
I know I'm trying to get Obi in a good mood over there. So talk a little bit about Circle.
Obi is always in a good mood, man.
Yeah, don't worry.
It only took you a quarter to get it.
Yeah, and now the lead's not going anywhere. So we'll be fine on that one. But this is why I like these guys, man. I mean, everybody here, congratulating each other on their. Obi's not winning. Come on, man. Yeah, exactly. Because of stocks that we picked. So here goes the Qs, man, down to 120 in the money now as that continues to go down. Oh, but what I want to talk about quickly was the Fed watch, right? I mean, we're talking about all this Fed here. 73% rate now chance that the next rate cut or the next rate discussion in July is a nothing burger, but there's still now a quarter of a chance that we do get a rate hike. Leading into September, that's going to get better. So now it's 50% chance that we get a 1 rate hike by September. Let's just move all the way to December. This is where it gets interesting. There's now a 31% chance that that's 2 hikes that we're looking at there for the beginning of the year to head into 27. We're maybe at 4 to 4 1/4. So, talking about all that, we'll see. Dara's talking about a little bit of dovish talk there. We don't know exactly what's going on other than task forces, apparently. But here we go to the downside on the TQs. And then just to talk about Meta, we only have 1 minute left, and we'll throw it over as Joe's getting prepared to have this show here with Obi and the midday. That should be a lot of fun for sure. We'll get a new perspective. We haven't seen Obi on here in a minute, so it'll be good to get him going one more time. I took it out there at 6:24.
I think he was last on during the SpaceX IPO, so been a while, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks, Adira, for that one. All right, what was that? Was there another super chat I can get on quickly before we only have 30 seconds left? I saw one up there. If not, that's all good. All right, what's up, Toby? QTEX is on the move. Filed a patent for new cryptogenic interconnect, architecture there. So, okay, QTEX. Have a quick little look at this. Quantum name. So good. I mean, these are the kind of plays that we talked about earlier, like, trying to sort of YOLO on certain names. Look into the deals there. Thank you for bringing that up. But there's QTEX holding out really nicely. And maybe this is the next way to go, man. Find names that have sort of done moves like this, come back in, found a base, and are ready to rip off of that. Because if you're long here at $140 or so, and it actually gave you $140 today, it looked like, right? Well, that's to start with. Pulls back into 155. That might have been fine too. But find a name that, and a name that I'm looking at maybe even is SMR. And I don't know if the power sort of, where that's going with SMR and with the nuclear reactors and SMR small modular reactors. Of course, the company's NuScale. We have Oklo as well. But, pullbacks into levels like that and then go on news, nice. I would say for QTEX, don't get greedy. I mean, Joe just had that story about the weed names as well. Up to 230, 240 looks like it's been topped out there. And then just because we mentioned SMR and because I'm looking at it, it seems to want to hold this $8 to $10 mark. Now, whether or not this goes down, like Neil said, he's in this name at don't know what price, but if this does wind up holding, it could have a nice move higher, off of some of these bases. A name that's really got going earlier, and even if we zoom out there, it's been down here before, so that's 10 to 50 Could it do it again? Potentially there for new scale. So, good little level here, goes all the way back. This was $10 in March of 24. So there's lots of opportunity, I think, for new scale to sort of mature back into some of those levels. And yeah, this could be one of those names that does have a run in it. Look, thank you so much to everybody today. I mean, it was such a fantastic day. We want to say to everybody here in Canada, happy Canada Day. It's been a blessed day here with this trade, as we are still $25 in the money on that meta trade. Thank you everybody for watching that. It's been a good one. Thanks to Joe. Thanks to Adair for everything today. Thank you for everybody switching over there. Tiffany, Andre, thank you for all your hard work again. Thank you to Sharif for the morning note. I'm out of here. I'll see you back at 2 p.m. It's the midday. Ciao for now.
But then how do you shut down now?